Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Halas Hall Hangover. This is 4-Star Chicago Sports, and we got a live one for you. We were at training camp on Sunday. We're going to check it out, tell you what we saw in the ins, the outs, the good, the bad. Was Caleb that awful? There was goods, there was ups, there was downs. We're going to get into all that. We're going to talk about some flaws in Caleb Williams' game. Can they get better? Hopefully, we're going to find out over the course of the season. And Ben broke out his circle of trust. Who's in that circle of trust? Let's talk about it. Who can earn that circle of trust? There's a couple names that aren't on there now that might be there in 5 weeks when training camp breaks. All that and more inside a packed Halas Hall Hangover after this. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to 4-Star Chicago Sports. We are live and we are wired up. It was a fun Sunday underneath the sun at Soldier Field. Kyle and I were there. We got a little bit of footage, but we got a lot to unload and a lot to unpack about where the Bears are 10 days in. But before that, how's everybody doing?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Every day, right? Kyle, how we doing?
Good, man. A little burn from yesterday. It's like
My ears,
steam box on there.
My ears were on fire. I had my hat like this to stop the sun from burning my ear balls.
Every time I go to a sporting event with you, you see your ears on. I've never heard anybody get like sunburn on their ears. You need hair, bro. You need some hair, bro.
I got sensitive tops of my ears, man.
You gotta grow some hair out, man.
Squeegee's in the house. John's in the house. What's up, Johnny? What's up, Squeegee? What's up, breaking news? What's up, anthropology? How's everyone doing today? It is another beautiful day in paradise in Chicago. We finally got some blessed weather on top of that. So this is pretty fantastic. The Bears, well, I'm still not too concerned. We're 5 weeks out from where training camp really needs to be, and you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. I was listening to Kyle Branson today on Good Morning Football. He had a really good piece. He was talking about, I think it was last year or the year before, when Brock Purdy was in camp, and Brock Purdy threw like 12 interceptions in camp, and everyone lost their freaking minds. And then he didn't throw his first interception in the regular season until week 10. So, again, it's training camp. Let's take the good with the bad. I understand the Chicago media is out here and they're, it's not installed day one. They shouldn't be doing this. People have bad days at the office. And when we were at Soldier Field on Sunday, it was a bad day at the office for the most part. But there was some good stuff. I mean, the defense owned the offense. So, I don't know. The defense, they always say it's a little bit ahead of the offense, right? So there was, like I said, there was some good, there was some bad, there was a mix, and Caleb looked shook, and I don't know. I want to get your guys' opinion. They said that going into the last week leading up into coming into Soldier Field, that it was all quiet and they're at practice, at Halas Hall, and there's not a lot of noise. Then you go into Soldier Field, there's all this booming noise and, the crowd's ruckus and everyone's cheering and it threw off the snap counts and this and that. But it wasn't really throwing off the snap counts, more or less, not being up to the line of scrimmage and having the play ready in time. So if you guys are looking at this and you guys are look at this as a whole, are you guys thinking, hey, man, this is a big-time quarterback problem? Is this a whole offensive problem? Where are you guys at with these pre-snap penalties? Dustin, welcome back, brother.
What's going on?
Kyle, go ahead.
How's everybody doing?
I mean, it's part of the learning process, Sean. I mean, the whole offense looked lackluster. It wasn't just the pre-snap penalties, man. They couldn't move the ball to save their life, and they allowed a sack on Sean, it was 4 plays in a row, I think. I mean, this is part of becoming a cohesive unit. This offensive line has barely played together. They're still shuffling in the right tackle or the right guard and left tackle. It's a different offensive line in almost every single play in training camp. It's just going to take some time. We've heard this 1,000 times. I said this last week on the Barely There podcast. it's training camp always has these stories that come out. Everybody wants to talk about how great this guy is or how bad this guy sucks. This is part of practicing, guys. You're going to see a lot of errors. You're going to see him correcting a lot of mistakes. This is what training camp is for, and it's certainly not something that I'm overwhelmed by or something that I'm freaking out about. It's practice makes perfect. Just be patient.
And to Anthropology 2000, I'm going to tell you this right now. The Bajancy looked god-awful at Soldier
Yeah,
Field.
he looked.
Anything.
Case Keenum was the only guy that looked
I
at
was
him
going to
off
say,
quarterback.
Case Keenum looked smooth, man.
Agent could have got destroyed on a couple plays. He just held that ball for way too long.
Well, what does that say about the offense overall? If Case Keenum was the only guy that looked good, is that concerning to anyone?
I think
I think he's an NFL vet and he has
Yeah.
experience. He knows how to run certain offenses and he's been in this offense before and he's comfortable doing it. And Page and Caleb Williams looked like they've never done this before, which they haven't, and they shouldn't look like they have.
They've been doing it throughout this camp. They've been doing it. Like that was what was concerning to me, guys. We were talking about the pre-snap procedures.
Yeah,
I understand it's on everybody, but to me, that's ultimately a quarterback stat. You get your guys set, you make sure everybody's in the right spot. Caleb, trying to change the play last second. Those things are concerning, but I just feel like at this point where they've been running through this for, a couple of weeks and just 2 weeks now where they've been doing this, like those pre-snap procedures should not be happening. And if they happen in the regular season, it's going to be a major issue for this offense. We saw how much it set them back last year. You don't want that to be a recurring issue this year. And Caleb's got to get that under control, and Ben Johnson's got to get that under control for this offense to actually ever get into a rhythm. You can't be having negative plays before you even snap the fucking ball. That's a problem.
Yeah, and it was pretty funny because everyone was very hyped about Kyle Monangai yesterday. And Monangai did look good. I think he had 3 or 4 touchdowns in the practice yesterday on Sunday. But I will tell you this: if you listen to Ben's press conference, he lined up wrong, and he's still making some mistakes. And
he went the wrong way on a pitch too.
He went the wrong way on the pitch.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying about these rookie.
He's a rookie, 7th round pick, like that. You should expect that, I would imagine, from your rookie running back, right?
But he did look good hitting that hole, man. He looked really good hitting that hole. I was actually pretty impressed.
He scored 5 touchdowns?
I think it was 3 or 4. But I will tell you this, Kyle. Give me a running back for the Bears that didn't look good yesterday. I know DeAndre Swift got blown up in the backfield a couple times, blocking on a couple pass plays. But when they were running the ball, Rojo looked great. Ian Wheeler looked great.
Ben Johnson came out as presser and said that. They all looked great, man. And Swift looked amazing. Just not, man, pass protection. That's brutal. It was brutal, man. He was getting destroyed, absolutely destroyed. What's the Noah Sewell absolutely destroyed DeAndre Swift, ran right over him. And that was his assignment. That wasn't like, hey, he snuck through the offensive line. Now you got to pick him up. They let him through for DeAndre Swift to block him, and he absolutely just blew him up and destroyed him. But yeah, I mean, you're going to see these ups and downs from the rookies, man, with guys like Kyle Monangai. He went the wrong way. Ben Johnson talked about that. We saw it with Colston Loveland. We saw it with Luther Burden. All these rookies are going to make mistakes, and that's why when Ben Johnson was asked after practice about who he could trust in this offense, he just named all the guys who've been playing in the NFL for a long time.
He was asked specifically about receiver tight end. He was, and he threw out DJ, Rome, Cole Kmet, and OZ Zacchaeus. I mean, and that makes sense. And you would expect them to lean on these veterans. And that's something I've been saying about the left tackle spot. And I know that a lot of people see Ozzie being that guy when this is all said and done. But I wanted to ask you guys, since you were there, left tackle reps with the ones, who had the majority of those of Braxton and Ozzie?
It was Ozzie.
Yeah, not even close.
Not even close.
It was probably 85 to 15% Ozzie Trapilo. I think Braxton got 1 drive, right? With the ones, Ozzie had the rest.
I actually leaned over to you at one point and I asked you, I'm like, have you ever seen Braxton Jones with the ones? I might have missed it when I went to the bathroom.
Yeah, he had 1 drive. The second drive that they once came in for, Braxton Jones was starting at left tackle. But after that, it was Ozzie Trapilo the rest of the way. And Braxton was with Tyson Bagent the rest of the way. I mean,
that offensive line looked really good by all accounts. That's one thing to be excited about, I think, as a Bears fan, because that's where it all starts. That offensive line looked really good. And if Ozzie's the guy with them, I mean, I think that's encouraging.
In regards to the Bears camp struggles, guys, just to kind of dim the light that's being shined on this, I went out of my way today to Google camp struggles NFL. I literally put that in.
No.
Every NFL team, some even veteran players, have guys that aren't doing so. Justin Herbert's under fire right now. Caleb Johnson has fumbled twice and is awful in pass protection as much as it's being reported. I mean, the Packers have cut 2 players based on camp performance alone. This is not a story that's just to the alone with the Bears.
Right.
This is everybody in the NFL is having struggles inside camp, and players specifically, and some of them are not second-year quarterbacks learning a new system. Like I said, this is not unique to the Bears. This is something that happens every camp. And then a lot of times, man, the guys that you read are the camp heroes, or the guys that come out dry when the season starts. It's just the way it is. And like Dustin said, I think we have to focus more on whether or not it's getting better day by day. And every time something happens in camp in a negative light, it's blasted into the media.
Oh,
and
man.
it's blast. Like you see this drill.
That's
of
the way
Caleb
it's
Williams.
always going to be. That's
Yeah,
the
you
way it's
see the
always
drill
gonna
of
be.
Caleb throwing the ball that's not making it to the net. Then he misses the net entirely, which Colin Coward did a segment on. Nobody talks about the same drill the previous 3 times where he nailed the same hole like 15 times in a row, man. So I mean, I don't know. It's just the way it's going to be pitched for
Well,
the
we
entirety
don't.
of the offseason, or if we're going to start to see the progress, because that's not how it's being reported, is the Bears are making progress. It's just the mistakes and the woes. There is no, they've corrected it. So I'd imagine at some point you're going to
We
start.
don't know what they're practicing all the time either, dude. Like that's a
No.
big part about it, right? What are they trying to accomplish with what they're doing? The drills that they're running, like
And that was
are you putting the offense at a disadvantage? Are you putting the defense at a disadvantage? There's
intentionally, yeah.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah.
no, I was gonna say, and that's one of the hard things, because when we were there yesterday, it was all like music over the loudspeakers. They were panning over the crowd. They're not telling you what they're doing. You just see them lining up for football plays and running a play. You don't know if it's a red zone drill. You don't know exactly what's happening on the field. That was the one thing that kind of sucked. But
Yeah,
I mean,
and I was curious, Sean, about how Ben ran that practice. Was he in Caleb's ear consistently throughout the offensive drives, or how did he just kind of let that go? I know he was trying to simulate like a preseason 0 game, is what he called it, basically. So how did he approach that, guys? Like, was Ben Johnson on their ass throughout that practice, or he was just letting them run?
I mean, Kyle,
I don't think he could be. I don't think they would hear him from the sideline. It was really loud in there.
Well, he wasn't on the sideline. What I saw,
he was standing behind him.
Yeah, he was behind.
So for individual drills, he's on the sideline. When they're playing an actual game of 11-on-11 drills, he's standing behind.
That's what I'm referring to. That's what I'm referring to.
I mean, he's probably what, Sean, 40 yards behind him. He was 50 yards behind him.
Something like that.
He wasn't going to do a lot of yelling. He did say
that
after a couple plays, he went up and pulled Caleb Williams aside and said, "You screwed that up. You need to be better. You need to be better with your cadences. You need to be better getting the play in." But for the most part, he was just quiet. He just watched and kept writing things down on his little sheet of paper, and they kept.
So like, I set you guys up for this all week, and this is what your now. This is your job to go out and do this, and then he just observed how they performed basically in that 11-on-11.
Yeah, he didn't do much talking.
Yeah, he didn't do much talking. He didn't get much in the huddle. The other coaches were in the drills. Like Richard Hightower was in with the special teams. We saw him very interactive.
Hightower's always yelling.
Yeah, but he
He's
was
always yelling.
He's a really small guy too. I didn't think I noticed that.
Did you guys saw what I did? You guys see the interview I sent? Since you brought up Hightower, I'll just bring it up right now. I mean,
I did.
I mean, when he's talking about we got a real one here. I've been around a lot of head coaches. There's certain things you notice, attention to detail. There's a certain, just feel from like a real head coach. And he says, we got a damn good one in Ben Johnson. I thought that was pretty confidence inspiring. The way he said it, he believed it. That was for sure. That was a great quote from Richard Hightower today, man. I like that.
Well, Melon Smasher, when you say real fans know they suck and they're going to suck, I question the word fan in that statement.
Me too.
Kyle, Sean, I want to ask you this.
Well, don't you think there's some meat there? There's a little more to discuss there, but go ahead, Brandon. Sorry.
When Caleb's going through these 11-on-11s or 7-on-7s, is it almost always read one, or are they allowing him to go through his progressions on the practice field?
I think he was going through his progressions as far as I could see. I mean,
when he had
sometimes he went through them way too long.
He would have taken a lot of sacks. If Sunday was a real game, he would have been sacked 4, 5, 6 times in that game.
I did read.
I don't think it was taking him. I think it was a combination of the offensive line had some massive holes in it, and Caleb was holding on to the ball way too long. But Caleb did do a good job of throwing the ball away. He did. He threw the ball
Well,
away.
there's
He
a
did.
writer who said
I
he
did it 5
missed
times.
some throws, but it's very hard to tell in a practice what his read was, which made it implied to me that
I can agree
Ben
with
is
that.
having him focus on his first read being the target he wants him to throw
Well,
the ball
the problem
to.
with that though, Brandon, when you're talking about like there was the red zone work that they were doing. You know, I forget. I think it was OZ who was open right in the end zone. He held that ball in the red zone for 5 seconds, guys, until he got sacked right up the middle after the offensive
where
line.
he got the two-hand touch sack.
It's fucking wide open in the end zone. He just didn't hit him, and he held it too long. So I mean, that's what these fans that are having issues with Caleb are talking about. And I mean, we're gonna get into that more, but there's no coach that's telling Caleb hold the ball until if you're talking about first read, that's get the ball out quick. That's as quickly as possible, right?
Yeah, he was from what I saw. I mean, Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong. It looked like he was reading and going through his progressions and trying to find the open guy. I mean, if Zacchaeus was his first read, then it was. But I don't think it was. I think
Caleb looks. He looks to me to be a little overwhelmed, guys, and he should be. He's learning a brand new offense, 12 installments. I mean, the terminology has to be absolutely insane. He's trying to get the offensive line on the same page. He's trying to get everybody set. He's still trying to make sure that he's not holding on to the ball too long. Ben Johnson's reiterated, "Hey, throw the ball away." So he's trying to get the timing down of okay, when do I throw it away, or when do I run, when do I take the sack? I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in his head right now. That's what it looked like was happening to me. It looked like Caleb Williams was confused by the playbook, by the play call. He couldn't get the call in fast enough. They had 4 or 5 pre-snap penalties, but this is part of the learning process. Nobody's going to learn an NFL offense overnight. This should be expected by most Bears fans.
And Ben Johnson has said he's throwing everything at him.
I was going to say that's exactly what he said, and then he's going to
the plate for
scale it back. Yes.
So this shouldn't be a surprise. And honestly, for me, I wish they would do this fan fest in a couple of weeks down the road when they're a little bit more acclimated and they're a little bit more, the roster's cut back a little bit and you're looking more.
Well, the problem with that is you're into preseason at that point, Sean. You're doing joint practices and they're doing the
but it's still you still practice every day.
Yeah, I know, but the family fest at that point, there's too much shit going on. You're not going to be able. You got to get that in now. And here's the point, right? Because you just said when they're more acclimated. When Kyle just said brand new offense. The guys in here freaking out, Melon and Anthro, and we appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like if you have not already. Like, this is way too early to hit the panic button. Way too early. You got to put this shit in perspective, man. These guys are practicing. If you're saying this season's cooked because Caleb had a bad practice at Family Fest, then you're not really actually using your brain, Melon. I'm sorry, but you're just not. Caleb has a lot of work to do. And I wanted to talk about this, so I'll just say it now. Think about the second-year quarterbacks, guys, and I want to hear your all opinions on this. Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, even J.J. McCarthy. Second year in the same system with the same offensive coordinator, same head coach, right? Caleb Williams has not played his first game of his second season and has had 4 official offensive coordinators, guys. So, you have to put this shit in perspective, and you got to think about this. And all that being said, his head coach got fired last season, and he went through all those offensive coordinators, only threw 6 interceptions, only threw 6 while being sacked the most in the league. So, this is a process. It's going to take time. Brand new offense, brand new head coach, and they're throwing the entire book at Caleb right now. We got to expect the growing pains, all right? This is a little ridiculous.
Well, yeah, and the perspective you can put, if whatever job you hold, if for the first year you worked there was 4 different managers that wanted the job done a different way, you probably wouldn't be very good after the first year you were a part of it, man. That's just.
But you guys see, these second year, Bo Nix is going into his second off season with Sean Payton as the guy in his ear. Does anyone understand how beneficial that is to a young quarterback like this?
And
how
picking up
how
where
Caleb
you
has
left
not
off.
had that at all. Caleb has not had that in any capacity yet until he got Ben Johnson, guys. This is just starting.
That's like his rookie season.
Exactly.
Some people are very close-minded, and that's why I think it was a week ago or 2 that I played that clip of Peyton Manning, who said, as a quarterback, you benefit from having the same coordinator.
And he had the same one for his first 13 years in the league.
Yes. And he said that helped him immensely because all of a sudden it was, I'm coming in the training camp. Everything's like the back of my hand. I know it. I'm ready to go. Caleb hasn't had that yet.
Not learning a new language, new expectations, everything.
And
The
let's
training
face it,
camp's
and
more of a refresher than learning.
Right. Than a
This is
learning
no,
experience.
this is no disrespect to Melon Smasher Anthropology, but they clearly both are not fans of Caleb Williams. But how many Bills fans were shitting all over Josh Allen his first year in the NFL? How many Colts fans didn't like Peyton Manning his first year in the NFL? I mean, this is not new. This is people who are Bears fans. They're passionate about the team. They're disheartened by what happened last year, so they're just thinking with their brain instead, or their heart instead of their brain. I mean, you guys listen. I've heard 50 times now in this chat that Caleb's not a smart guy. By all accounts, from everybody who knows him personally, he is a very smart guy. I don't know him.
Well,
Melon
it's-
Smasher doesn't know him. Nobody else in this chat
it's
knows
magnified
him.
in
That's
Chicago.
not. I've never heard that about
If you
Caleb Williams
ask,
in my
though,
life.
like-
that he's not an intelligent person. That's just
No.
something they're making up.
No,
to
yeah,
make their
he's
point.
very intelligent, and I think he's shown that. And then, real quick, I wanted to touch on that one because he says, "Is Cliff better coach than Ben Johnson?" That's not even. That's the point. That shows bias because that's not even a fair question because Ben Johnson has not even had a full offseason completed yet with
He hasn't
Caleb
coached
Williams.
preseason game.
Come on, like it's not even a comparison yet, Melon. So that shows the bias in what you're saying.
And
That's
Ben
all I'm trying to
Johnson,
point out. Let's have some perspective.
and don't forget Ben Johnson added a lot more to his plate in his respective role as well. And I think this quarterback thing, the dislike over Caleb Williams, they're writing him off. It's magnified in Chicago than any other city because we just never had a good quarterback. And these fans like Smasher and Anthro, they expect him to be bad, which is a safe bet. But a guy like Bryce Young, who's done nothing but struggle in his first couple of seasons, has nothing but the fans' support in Carolina.
I don't know if that's true. No, I mean he's been slammed
from what I
career.
read today, they think that after the way he finished last season, he's about to come out and have a year.
And that's a good thing to think, and I think so too with Bryce Young. It takes time with some of these quarterbacks take more time than others, and some of these quarterbacks come out on fire like C.J. Stroud did his rookie season, and then they had to take a major step back their second year, guys. Like there's no
continue to progress.
There's no linear effect here. Like these guys are learning.
And CJ Stroud and Gene Daniels are exceptions to the rule, guys. If you go back in the history of football, first-year quarterbacks don't have a ton of success. There's actually very, very few of them. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't consider Caleb Williams' rookie season a failure. Now, obviously, he had his deficiencies. He holds on to the ball too long. He was a little slow.
Considering the circumstances, though, Kyle.
Yeah, exactly. There's no infrastructure. He didn't have a real head coach. Didn't have a real play caller. Any of the three of them that he had were not really.
He was failed. I don't think it's his season was a failure.
And so was Justin Fields, and so was
failed.
probably Mitch Trubisky. But Caleb Williams is obviously a different type of player. He's the reason that Ben Johnson is here. Ben Johnson only came to this team because of Caleb Williams. He thinks he could be better. He probably knows he could be better, and he can get the best out of him. All I say to all these fans that are hating on the Bears is you guys are just scarred by what's happened here over the span of your lifetime. But you can't blame people on this team now for past people's mistakes. Like you can't be like, well, Ryan Poles is going to suck because Ryan Pace suck. Caleb Williams is going to suck because Justin Fields suck. That's not fair to Caleb Williams. It's not fair to Ryan Poles. This is going to be a process. This is an NFL organization, one of 32 in the world, the best players in the world. It takes a long time to perfect this art, and they've barely scratched the surface. They've barely even stepped onto the field.
Patience is necessary here from a Caleb perspective, from a Ben Johnson perspective, from the overall perspective. We can't ignore what we see. We can't ignore what we see with our eyes. Okay. Me and Sean were talking earlier. I mean, you can't be a see it, throw it guy in the NFL and be successful. You can't wait to see it to throw it. Caleb has done that, throughout his career so far. He's been doing it in these practices, and that concerns me. I will admit that 100%. You got to anticipate the throw. You got to throw with timing. And if you hold the ball for 5 seconds, you're going to get sacked. That's going to happen. You need to get the ball out. You need to make a decision fast, and you need to throw that ball with anticipation. You cannot wait until that receiver shows themselves to you open to throw the ball, because then it will be picked up.
Don't wait for the numbers.
That
word, man.
That's a problem. So I mean, we can't ignore what we see with our eyes. We should acknowledge those things, and I think Ben Johnson is acknowledging those things with Caleb, and they're working on it, and that's what they're supposed to do. But at the same time, patience is necessary here. The Bears started 4-2 last year, guys. They finished the fucking season 5-11, right? So, like, if they start 2-4 this year with a brand new everything, basically, right? But then they finish strong. Which one would you prefer? Do you want to see the development and the growth? We got to have patience on a macro level here with this Bears team. I really think that's important to keep in perspective.
And if you're talking, and I agree with you 100%, Dustin. If you can't throw anticipatory throws in the NFL, you're not going to make it. But you have to know the playbook and the timing of the players you're playing with in order to throw those throws. Like I think him throwing the ball blindly, being like, "Well, Colston Loveland's going to be in that spot," when he's only thrown the ball to Colston Loveland 20 times in his life.
Hard to have that trust right now.
It's just as dumb as holding onto the ball. Like, dude, you're going to throw picks if you do that too. Now, I think there's probably some benefit minutes just throwing interceptions and going up to Colson and being like, hey, that's the spot you need to be in. That's why I threw the ball. You need to be there.
Practice is the time for that.
Yes. But in the meantime, I mean, this is by all accounts one of the most elaborate, innovative offenses in the NFL. But we saw what Ben Johnson was capable of doing in Detroit. It's obviously not an easy offense to learn. And this guy gets a week, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, get Caleb Williams out of here. This guy sucks. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. If you're a true Bears fan, you should want Caleb Williams to succeed, because what you see, the God-given talent, you know that he's capable of being an amazing athlete in the NFL. That you just got to give him time to become an NFL quarterback as opposed to just an NFL athlete. And Ben Johnson said it. Everybody in his corner has said it. We're not freaking out about anything that's happened to Caleb Williams up to this point. We're not worried about it. This is going to be a long process. He's probably going to continue to make some of these mistakes in the regular season. That's okay. I don't expect the Bears to win a Super Bowl this year. I expect the Bears to look like they have a franchise quarterback come week 17. That's what I expect.
And you have to, like, regardless of whether or not you like the kid, I've said this last week, guys, I can't stress it enough. There's no verdict. I can't say he's the GOAT. You can't say he sucks. Sean can attest to this. It takes time for you. Can't wait till Caleb's finished this season, then make your opinion, develop your opinion. Sean said last year that I need to wait for Pete Crow Armstrong. I shit all over the kid. He went 0 for 17 in his first 17 at bats, and look at him now. And it was a premature dislike, and I regret it. And the guy's fucking incredible, but I'm man enough to say that I was wrong. And I'm glad that the Cubs player who's playing for my team is a good player. That should be the hope. And if you think that Caleb sucks right now, if you, after his rookie season, you think Caleb sucks, this is the truth. The cold hard truth is you are biased, because no player sucks after a rookie season with 3 different coaches and the fucking disaster and 68 sacks.
At the
no
same time,
verdict is out.
No, at the same time, we can't ignore what our eyes see, Sean. That's what I'm saying as well. Like there's things Caleb has to improve on and get better at. Correct? What did you see yesterday from him, Sean, in terms of what he was doing at the quarterback position?
Well, one of the things that was worrying me most was the anticipatory throws, and that was one of the things I actually said to Kyle yesterday. He's not anticipating quick enough. He's not reacting quick enough. He scrambled out a couple times, bailed himself out, which I thought was play. There was one where the pocket broke down, and I don't know if you remember this, Kyle. He broke out to the side and took it up the left sideline for about 20 yards. Maybe scrambled too quick, but he also did miss a couple wide open.
Probably would have been a sack, but yeah,
it might have been. It might have been.
Listen, it's not all doom and gloom.
He can also create.
Caleb threw a couple. Caleb threw
so I can't say it would have been a sack. Sure.
Yeah, Caleb threw 4 or 5 throws yesterday. They were absolutely on a rope. I mean, you're talking about this much of space, and they were completed passes. There's not many guys in the NFL who can do that. I mean, literally a fingertip away from being an incompletion or intercepted, and Caleb Williams put that ball right out in front of Rome, right out in front of Zacchaeus. Had a very good day yesterday. GP Richards.
He looked. I will say this though, Kyle. He looked very sped up and very rushed a lot yesterday.
Turn on, Erica.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys, there's also, I think, another thing that needs to be talked about in terms of yesterday's practice, or just the struggles with the Bears in general in training camp so far, is, you guys, the offensive line certainly doesn't look perfect. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be better come week 1 of the NFL season, but right now they're not giving Caleb Williams the time that he needs to complete some of these passes, and that's probably just because there's just no cohesiveness. And to be honest with you, I don't know if the Bears have had all 5 starting linemen on the field for more than 4 plays in a row yet. They rotated Ryan Bates and Jonah Jackson yesterday. Yes, they rotated Ozzie Trapilo and Braxton Jones. I mean,
they got to get their 5. They got to get their set 5 and ride with them all season with help.
The receivers were consistent yesterday. The tight ends were consistent in terms of the 1s and 2s, but the offensive line was shuffled a lot. And I think they're trying to figure out who their number 2.
I was going to say, I think they are, but you got to remember there was no Bill Murray. There was I think 3 linemen that didn't. Karan Amagashi was hurt again. He did not practice yesterday, so some of their pieces weren't there. And I think Bill
Luke
Murray
Newman practice.
I don't know. Yeah, I think he did.
He was there.
I didn't hear that he wasn't.
I didn't hear him on the list.
Yeah, that has fallen out of favor. We could talk about this a little bit later, guys. But you know who did not play a single snap of the 1s or 2s is Ruben Hippolyte. It seems to me that Noah Sewell is going to be the third outside linebacker.
Ben Johnson
said that shit about a month ago.
Yeah, Ben Johnson said that 2 months ago in his press conference that he was a guy that stood out. Before we move on from Caleb, I do want to say this, guys, and we've been saying it on this channel consistently. I know I have. The key to Caleb having a good season this year is that timing, Sean, that you were talking about, and buying into Ben Johnson's philosophy and working within the playbook. You talked about Kyle and Sean about the things that he did well, creating outside of structure, and that's what got Caleb drafted number 1 overall, guys. And it's that natural ability that he has, but that can't be his first instinct in Ben Johnson's offense. He has to hit that first guy, that first read when he sees it. He's got to take what the defense gives him, and he's got to just keep moving the chains. And if he does that, when the things start to break down, that's when his improvisational skills will show and become a benefit to him. But if it's his first go-to every time, it's going to become a detriment to him because the offensive line can't hold up under that. That's got to be reserved for special occasions. He's got to get into the structure of this offense and work within it, guys. And if he doesn't, it's going to be a long fucking season. Ben Johnson needs that desperately from him.
Well, and we saw it happen at it's in stints last year, like the second half of the Minnesota game at home. Caleb played within the structure of that offense. He didn't do a lot of improvising. He was given a clean pocket. He was finding Keenan Allen consistently, Roma Dunze consistently. I think he could do it. Like I said, the timing's just not there yet, guys. First of all, Colston Love and Luther Burden have just started playing football. These guys just started playing football. Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, they're all learning a brand new offense with Caleb. It's not like they're like, come on, Caleb, we all know it. How come you don't? Everybody was making mistakes out there. Every single player. So we're going to shit all over the whole team. Are we just going to sit here and shit all over? I mean, these guys are shitting all over Caleb Williams. Every single player out there made mistakes. Tyson Bagent looked like he had never played football a day in his entire life. He looked the worst of everybody on the field.
I was going to say, I looked at Kyle yesterday.
3 drop picks from Tyson Bagent's hands. One of them went right into Kyle Gordon's hands.
I looked at Kyle yesterday.
Unbelievable.
And I said, God damn, Tyson Bagent looks awful.
There was a couple passes Tyson Bagent threw. I'm like, who is he even throwing the ball to?
That's kind of what I've seen in Tyson his whole career, guys, with the Bears.
And then they took Tyson Bagent out, and Case Keenum came in, and he carved up the defense, took him right into
the ball.
But the context there, guys, the context there is that Case Keenum is not playing against the number 1 defense. So
no, he wasn't.
That's important context to provide.
But right? You also have to remember
timing is much better than Caleb Williams and Tyson Bagent.
Well, you can analyze that regardless, but you're still playing against the worst defense on.
You also have to remember though, Caleb Williams was playing against the twos yesterday and didn't look better. There was one
for sure
on both sides.
Yeah, they were all rotated into the. I think he played one drive with the ones. He just looks like the most professional quarterback, guys, because he is.
Can we answer this question from Melon Smasher? Because this is another one that you can kind of just knock the logic right out of this fucking thing. Ben Johnson already said his team is behind schedule for a franchise that's been shit offensively for 40 years. Do you see that as a good sign? As we just said, brand new offense. Brand new play caller.
Did I just hold on really
in
quick,
the middle of fucking preseason? Go ahead.
I've watched every conference. Or interview? Did I miss that press conference?
No, he said they were sloppy and that he felt like they should have been farther ahead yesterday than they were based on how they practiced.
So they had a bad day at the office. We're working have a bad day.
Listen,
I'm just wondering
if you think that because they were behind schedule yesterday that sets this offense back, then that's just silly again, because they are practicing. They haven't even played a preseason game yet, and they have a brand new offensive coordinator and a brand new offense that they're trying to learn, man. And if you want this offense that's been shit for 40 years to get fixed, you can't want it overnight, bro. You need a little time to get this shit implemented. It's not just this year either. You're talking about next year when this thing can really take off. They're laying the foundation right now. And you got to think logically, Melon.
For Melon Smasher and Anthropology 2000, I've already said this on probably every show we've done over the past 2-3 weeks. I don't really care. I want to see progression. I'm going to start judging him come week 6, week 7 of the regular season. And if he's still making these mistakes, playing hero ball, he's not anticipating his throws, and he looks lost, I'll have a different opinion. But right now, I'm just going to plant that seed and give it time to grow and just watch this thing.
Sean's just going to take what the defense gives him right now.
Yes. I mean, that's all we can do.
What Caleb needs to do.
I want to say this. Listen, for this, like Dustin said, it's not just Caleb, like Kyle. We've watched struggle from all these players. It's Ben Johnson is a new head coach as well. He's not just calling plays. He's not just implementing an offense. He is overseeing an entire football team. That's going to provide setbacks as well. But if you tell somebody who's out here saying, hey, let's wait to see this in week 1, let's Let's try to be a little bit excited for the fact that we got the coach we wanted. I like the quarterback we drafted last year. But if I'm optimistic, overly optimistic, or drinking the Kool-Aid because I have a positive outlook over what the Bears have done this offseason, well, it's just the same negative. It's negative or pessimistic to say they suck. The most grounded reality is that we don't know yet. The possibility is that they could be a good football team, and the possibility is they could be a bad football team, but nobody can say either way. So I don't think you're being overly optimistic by stating you like the moves the Bears have made this offseason. If you're being negative, though, based on the things you saw occur this offseason, the acquisitions, the trades, the Ben Johnson, you're probably just
you shouldn't be too far one way or the other, Kyle. You got to kind of bring this thing to the center. That's what we're trying to do here, Kyle, is put some perspective on this. You guys were there yesterday. Do you think the sky's fallen with what you saw?
God, no. Not in any way,
Oh,
shape, or
here.
form.
You guys have been there for the last couple of years.
There was a lot of good moments yesterday, too. I can tell you this. This
There was.
offense looked a lot better with Caleb Williams than it ever looked with Justin Fields.
That
in training
played
camp.
a Cole
No
Kmet,
disrespect to
guys.
Justin Fields, man, but
That played a Cole Kmet. Hold on one second, Kyle.
Throw it out.
And I'll say, my friends,
Defense had no idea what was going on.
hey, my friends, that was the first home run swing of the 2025 season. I think we'll see it at least 8 more times.
yeah,
They just have 5 touchdowns in the preseason.
the touchdown he threw to Colston Loveland later on in that training camp, right on in that practice, that was an anticipatory throw. He threw that ball knowing that Colston Loveland was going.
And that was a hell of a route by Colston Loveland.
Listen,
I know they had to work on it a few times.
Colston Loveland is a very good route runner.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Yes.
Very good route runner.
And this is, I don't want to make anyone mad by saying this, but people have to realize when you want to hype people up, and I think Colston Loveland is going to be just fine as an NFL player. I can see with my own eyes watching deficiencies in his game. Hence why when the circle of trust came out, he is not in it yet. He was blown up in the backfield. He ran that same route 3 times. I have 2 of them on film. I can show them to you because it was right at us. He dropped 2 touchdowns that were in his hands. But the only thing you heard about on X was rookies, and I saw this today, rookies shouldn't be able to run routes like this. Well, it took them 3 times to get that one play right that they're talking about that route was so great. So he's still learning and developing. And I'm just saying, that's why I'm saying all this.
From what I understood, guys, that was a 2-minute drill, right? Like they put the situation up. It was
a minute and 36 seconds. And
so they re-ran the same play within that comeback 3 times.
Here's the first one.
This is the only time I heard Ben Johnson yell. I think he said, "You guys are going to keep doing this shit until you score a touchdown."
Because he's like, "That's what should have finished our drive."
Yeah, the first one was a bad throw. The second 2 were good throws.
That should be a catch.
That's a good
catch.
Who was defending that play? That
hit him right in his hands. That's a catch.
That hit him right in his hands.
Come down with that catch.
This was another My bad. That was Zacchaeus. Hold on one second. What the hell did I do with that one? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Here we go. So that time it was over the linebacker.
That play right there, the one that you said that should be a catch in his hands, and that one that you saw at the end there was the same play 3 times in a row.
Yeah,
the first one was a bad throw by Caleb. He threw it at the feet. The second one was a drop by Loveland, and the third one was a touchdown. But I mean, I'm pretty sure the defense knew that was coming, so I'm assuming that they were just kind of playing back a little bit and let them get this play down. I don't know, but I mean,
the fact that they're trying to hammer that down so thoroughly tells you something, though, Kyle. It tells you that they're looking at that as a bread and butter type of play, potentially. They're looking at Colston Loveland as a guy that can get that separation in that type of area of the field, and they want to make sure that they get reps doing that. I mean, to me, that's what that says.
At the end of the day,
I was just gonna say, I definitely think he'll be a mismatch problem inside the 20. I do.
100%.
At the end of the day, the only thing I could say about training camp, guys, is every single player on the field had really, really good plays. Like you saw that touchdown to Colston Loveland, and they had really, really bad plays. Like you saw him drop a pass. They all did, not just Colston Loveland, Caleb Williams. Kyle Monong guy went the wrong way. DeAndre Swift got absolutely blown up in pass protection by the third string defense. I mean, every single guy on the field, I'm like, wow. Sean turned to me and was like, man, look how good DeAndre Swift looked. He looks like he's got an extra some extra pep in his step. He's going to be amazing this year. And the very next play, he got absolutely destroyed by Noah Sewell. I mean, this is practice. They're trying to figure out who's right for what situation, who should be played in this play. Like that play that you just saw from Colston Loveland, when they run that play in the regular season, Colston Loveland's going to be the guy on that play. I can almost guarantee you he's going to be the guy in the slot on that play. Another thing I want to ask you guys about real quick when it comes to training camp. Every single day we hear all the news from training camp. They're like, oh, Luther Burden looked great today. Colston Loveland looked great today. Cole Kmet looked great today. Zacchaeus looked great today. Is it just me, or is it always the guy playing the slot with the ones?
The slot is going to be the role.
Yeah, like I think in this scheme,
yeah,
anybody in the slot's going to look really good. Yeah.
Like, and I think DJ Moore is going to be the guy that establishes himself as that guy in this offense.
I will tell you this too. I will tell you this, and I really hate to say this because I kind of feel like this may be a role that's better suited for a Luther Burden. I'm not the biggest fan of DJ Moore coming out of the backfield. I've watched that with Deebo Samuel and other wide receivers. You tend to get nicked up and hurt a little. I guess if you're going to do it,
using it sparingly,
but you're seeing it a lot more in a lot different plays throughout camp. And I just
now's the time to get the reps, Sean. Yeah,
I agree.
I'm not going to be running that like every game. DJ Moore is going to have 5 to 10 carries like that. That's you know what I'm saying. Like it'll be here and there.
I hope not.
Spots, and it's not gonna be him just carrying it between the tackles, right? It's gonna be him sneaking out of the backfield for a deep pass, trying to get a mismatch on a linebacker,
on a little curl route or something.
Out of the backfield. Trying to find mismatches utilizing that alignment, and that's what's exciting.
Like Sean, you say, I've seen it 5 times already. It could just be the same play 5 times. They're just trying to perfect it, and they haven't perfected it until they perfect it.
Thank you for checking in.
I think
I don't think you're going to see DJ Moore back there.
I think disguising it is the only way to use it, right? I mean, if you're going for a 3rd and 1, you're not throwing DJ Moore in there when the defense knows what's coming. But I will say this: over the course of his career, he has rushed a decent. He did rush a decent amount in Carolina. Yeah, he has 57 carries for 430 yards and an average of 7.5 yards per carry.
Yeah, but I think most of those are probably more end arounds.
End arounds.
Probably not going to get hit instead of just being like a running back running between the tackles. But he definitely has ran between the tackles a couple times in training camp for sure. Like
I would say this: if he's coming out of the backfield in Ben Johnson's offense, I liked his chances of not getting injured a lot better than I did last year with all those screen passes they were throwing to DJ Moore. If you guys remember, DJ Moore was catching that ball in disadvantageous positions consistently and still making something out of it.
Sometimes. There was a point where I was like, man, Caleb has got to start to protect DJ a little more. DJ was getting
I am still of the belief. I am still of the belief that until I watch it in the regular season and it's not working, I'm going to trust everything that Ben Johnson does because this is a guy I wanted here. I don't think I've seen anything in training camp that makes me think, well, I don't trust Ben Johnson anymore. I don't like anything that I see until I see it not work when it actually matters. I'm just if he thinks that DJ Moore can gain a big chunk yardage by running out of the backfield, I think that DJ Moore can gain some big chunk yards running out of the backfield until I see it not work or until Ben Johnson comes out and you go, because you know what, guys, we're going to scrap that play because it just doesn't seem to be working. I trust everything that he does because I think he knows this personnel on this roster better than anybody on the field. I think he's a very, very smart guy.
I mean, and Ron asked about DJ and Rome. I do want to point out that I honestly like one of the better plays that I saw yesterday from all the clips I was watching on that really bad Caleb throw, the worst one, the one that everyone's showing on X saying, "What the fuck is Caleb doing?" Where he rolls out and just throws it up into a crowd.
That's the one where Swift gets destroyed. That's the one where Swift gets destroyed.
Roma Dunze knocked that ball loose. That should have been an interception. That was Rome, right?
That was Tyler Scott.
It was Tyler Scott. It was Tyler Scott. Sorry, that Tyler Scott made a hell of a play on that ball to keep that. Yeah, I like shit like that, and that shows something in a Tyler Scott.
Yeah,
man.
He punched it out into Deshaun Wright's hands, and Deshaun Wright dropped two interceptions yesterday. Although Deshaun Wright also did look very good with the ones, but he dropped 2 interceptions that should have been easy interceptions.
Ron asks, "Do you think DJ and Rome will have 1K receiving yards?"
Yes.
I tend to think the same too.
Yeah,
I
I've been
think so
thinking the
too,
same
but that's really
consistently.
tough to do in the NFL, man. I so rarely do teams have 2,000-yard receivers. That's so tough to do, but I don't see how not. I mean, Roma Dunze, I think by the end of the season will probably be the better of the two. And I know,
I
Sean,
think he is
you
right
probably
now.
hate when I say that, but
Rome
I
is the
think by
best
the
receiver
time,
on this
if you
football
talk
team.
about their
Everyone's
ceilings, I think
everyone's
Rome's is a
entitled
little
to
bit
their
higher.
opinion.
I can't tell you who's going to lead the stats between Rome and DJ, and whoever it is will be
I don't
number
think they
one on
care
this
either, to
football
be
team.
I
honest.
don't think they give a shit either.
Colston Loveland's going to be third in yards on this team.
Well, that's an
firmly believe
interesting projection because you got Luther Burden. It's gonna take him some time. I keep saying Zacchaeus seems to have a lock on that
I'm going
slot.
to tell you
Case
this.
looked really good, guys. He looked really
Yeah,
good.
and
Very,
the
very
coaches
good.
trust
He
him.
is
The
good,
coaches
man.
trust him.
He's a good football player. I really
know who
like
else?
that signing.
Zacchaeus.
Oh, Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus, that's what I'm talking about. Is a
that's-
really quality
Sean-
signing.
Now Zacchaeus, if that wasn't blown dead, which we both looked at each other like, why was that blown dead? Would have been stripped for 2 days in a row in camp and had 2 fumbles.
Yeah, but Sean, when Brisker picked DeAndre Swift up, like picked him up off the ground, DeAndre Swift just threw the ball on the ground. They were like, "That's a fumble," and Colston Loveland jumped on it. Swift doesn't do that in the regular season, man. He was pissed off that Brisker was picking up one of his legs and making him do the splits. He wouldn't drop that ball in a regular season game. He was just pissed that he stopped.
You're talking about Zacchaeus?
No, I'm talking about DeAndre Swift fumbled and Colston Loveland jumped on
I was
top
talking
of
about
it.
Zacchaeus' fumble when he
I
got
know, but
stripped on that
I'm
run.
just saying some of these guys, I just think they're like, oh, well, this is practice. We don't want to get hurt. So the play's dead, right? Like
Just
the play's
give up on it.
Like the
Kyle,
play's
I will tell you this, and I'm really sorry because I tried to get it and I dropped my phone and then it was over. But Roma Dunze had that nice catch down the sideline right in front of us.
looks amazing.
I was not done talking about Roma Dunze. I think Roma Dunze is in for a breakout season. I'll continue to say it, and it's not a knock on DJ Moore, guys. I love DJ. I think both of these guys, yes, to go back to your question, Rich, I think they should both eclipse 1,000 yards in this offense with the way they're going to be utilized. I think they'll both be utilized in the slot, some more so DJ Moore, but Rome is that guy that you can put on the outside that will just be a man beater. If he has one-on-one coverage, he's going to win more times than not, and Caleb is going to find them because they have the best connection. I have very high hopes for Rome.
Roma Dunze looked absolutely phenomenal.
He's
and you
fantastic.
Know what? Another thing about Rome, guys,
he gets slept on.
Anybody, and then I haven't talked. He's been very quiet in training camp, but if anybody's picking this offense up quickly, it's Roma Dunze, man. He's obviously a very intelligent guy.
I've heard you say
very intelligent guy.
I heard you say that Brisker put DeAndre Swift in an awkward position as upon tackling.
What Brisker did was pretty shitty, and he shouldn't have done.
Yeah, I know, but I want to focus on that because you guys also said Noah Sewell blew up DeAndre Swift. I'm hearing a lot of people who continue to say it's the training camp and these guys aren't giving it 1,000%. They don't want to risk their body. It sounds like these guys are competing pretty damn hard.
Dude, Brisker hits everybody every chance he gets.
Brisker has a problem.
He's kind of an asshole.
Brisker is going to have another concussion.
And Noah Sewell wants a job, right?
Dude,
Noah Sewell wants to play some football. So he's got to get out there. When you're not waiting for week one, guys, when you're not a guaranteed starter on this, when you're not DJ Moore or Joe Tooney, and you're fighting for a roster spot, you're not going to go out there and play soft because right now is the only time you have to prove what you're worth. You're going to stick somebody. You're going to hit them. And that's why I'm confident guys like Luther Burden and Colston Loveland and these guys who are excelling in camp against the Bears defense is because the Bears defenders are playing hard football, man. Dennis Allen's not going to have it any other way. These guys are out here hitting each other, from what you make it sound like, hitting each other pretty damn hard.
They were running goal line drills. Monungai ran through the tackle or through the guard in the center, a clear path to the end zone, and Brisker destroyed him. Absolutely, you could hear that hit from 10 miles away, and he did not make it to the end zone.
It's hard not to like Brisker.
Brisker was still sitting on his knees, and he did one of these like celebration, like, I'm the man.
Sounds like he's got a concussion on the way.
Brisker,
it's hard not to be scared for his health too.
I think that's just who he is. I don't think he's ever going to.
It's not going to change. That is how he plays. That is just what it is. Melon, what's up? He says Rome and Caleb best connection. Rome led the NFL in uncatchable targets in 2024. Extremely bad take. Yeah, that wasn't in this offense. That wasn't with another year, right? And another offseason under Ben Johnson.
Both rookies.
We're talking about what is going to happen this year. And in terms of their connection, I'm referring to the fact that those are two guys that have a connection, like Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison type type is what it's going to be, man. Caleb is going to want to get the ball to Rome, and Rome is going to beat people on the outside and make himself available for that, and he's going to beat people on contested.
Real quick, Squeegee.
Just watch, Melon.
Noah Sewell had
I
the
like Roman
highest.
Dunze a lot.
Noah Sewell had
yeah.
the highest win rate in blitzing in the NCAAs his last year.
If I can get to this point, I put this up for a reason because I said when the Bears drafted him, Kyle, you may remember this. I like this guy becoming an edge pass rusher because he
third down
sucks.
specialist, I think, is
A
what you
third
said.
down specialist. He sucks at pass coverage. He has a ton of limitations, but one thing he can do is get after the
He's
quarterback.
the one who
blitz.
destroyed Swift.
Yes.
He can
He's the one who
blitz.
destroyed. He destroyed
Yes.
Swift.
He's good, man. I like.
I'll tell
him
you
a
this,
lot.
guys.
Yeah,
Noah
it's-
Sewell
I
is
don't
out
know.
there.
Hold on. I don't know. Melon
He's
and
giving
the
100%.
Smasher hates Roma Dunze, and you hate Caleb Williams, and you must be an undercover Packer fan.
When it
He's a
sounds
big
like
he's a big Matthew Golden fan.
when it sounds like he dislikes Ben Johnson, which makes no sense.
So
Listen, on the
confused.
Noah Sewell thing, guys, and on the Ruben Hippolyte thing, and on the whoever the fuck is playing at that Sam, like it's concerning, isn't it?
It's a draft spot next year.
It's
a big
concerning.
draft
I mean,
spot next year.
I've said previously, I don't know how much they're going to be in a 4-3 base where that third linebacker is necessary on the field. And if it is Sewell or Hippolyte, because I think they can use Hippolyte in a pass rushing
It's
role
also
as
Kyler
well with
Gordon
his
at
skill
times.
set.
Kyler
Kyler, that's exactly because he becomes the nickel of the third linebacker, basically on like those.
Can I get a quick timeout?
But the Sam linebacker position is still concerning, no matter
So
who is
so is the
starting.
left tackle. And so
Yeah.
is the left tackle because
Yep.
Trapilo got beat. Montez Sweat had a day. He got beat.
By the way, Anthropology,
Got
Melon Smasher, Razzle Dazzle, you guys are entitled to your opinions. We love you for being here. Keep bringing the heat in the chat, guys.
But man, Ozzy Trapilo is a massive human being, dude. Huge.
Hang
You
on.
know, I posted this
Insane.
online and I got
Melon
destroyed
Smasher.
for this. There's a video of Luke Newman and Ozzy Trapilo walking off the field together, and I said everybody talks about Ozzy Trapilo's size, but Luke Newman is a big boy, and everybody was like, "Yeah, but look at Ozzy Trapilo. Look at Ozzy." Ozzy Trapilo, guys, is a half a foot taller than Luke Newman and weighs 4 more pounds. Do you know that?
I mean, he's not.
He's 6
he's not
inches
400
taller
pounds,
and
but-
weighs 4 more pounds. Luke Newman is a broad
Well, yeah, I mean, you're
individual.
basically describing
He's a
tackles
big
versus
dude.
guards. I mean, that's yeah, guards are really short, thick
But
guys. Tackles
Luke
are usually
Newman,
tall and
is
big,
a
slender.
big guy. A big
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, Luke Newman's a little on the lighter side for the guard, honestly, in terms of his weight. Ozzy Trapilo is a big man, yes. And did it stand out to you guys in the stands? Like, was it that
Yes.
big?
Yes,
to
like
where,
when they're
like-
standing, when they were doing the prayer or whatever they do at the end of the, he is just an absolutely massive. It doesn't take long to figure out where Ozzy Trapilo is in the crowd, man. He is absolutely huge. He's bigger than.
And
John
how
Wright.
did
He's massive.
how did he look in pass blocking sets? Because he keeps getting reported as the guy that can anchor. And Ben Johnson keeps saying, "I want the best pass blocking left tackle."
He
to
looks
start for
better
my
in
team."
pass protection than he does in run blocking.
Luke Newman is
by a
Luke
lot
Newman
from
is,
what I hear.
By a lot, yes.
Luke Newman is
he's tough
8
to get around.
pounds under the average NFL guard. 8
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's a
Yeah,
little
Luke
on the
Newman
lighter
will-
side of a.
Both
of
those
the
guys are
guard.
going to get bigger.
average is
They're both gonna get
316.
bigger.
He weighs
Uh-huh.
308.
Both
Yeah,
of them will get bigger.
that's the point I was making.
He's a big boy, man. He's
You
a
guys
big
know it looks.
fucking
I know you
boy.
guys probably don't care, but you know, it looked really good. And Sean, you can attest. Doug Kramer looked really
Kramer
good.
did look good.
Really good. Really good.
It's
He
good
actually-
because he might be the long snapper when the season starts.
he picked Kyle Monungai up, picked him up off the ground,
Yeah, he did,
and
walked
carried
into
him
the zone.
into the end zone
Yeah,
for 4
he
yards.
did. I forgot about that.
Picked him up
And he didn't
and
fumble him?
carried him into the end zone.
He didn't fumble.
and he didn't fumble. He didn't drop him.
Listen,
Kyle
guys.
Monungai immediately went and tapped him on the helmet. It was
This
like,
is
thank
another
you.
thing. And I just want to know this just for general like eye test. How did Tremaine Edmonds look on the field?
Amazing. He's all over the place, man.
Okay.
He's all over
Yeah.
the place.
Tremaine Edmonds. is
He
good.
also, Sean, I know they didn't review any plays, but that interception he had on Case Keenum, that was an interception.
It should have been.
If you watched it on the big screen, it clearly did not touch the, he picked that. And the
So
refs blew
Keenum
it
was
flat.
playing against the ones then. Is that what you're
Yeah, they were swapping.
No,
threes.
and the ones, the
swapping
linebackers never
ones.
came out.
Oh, so they were
They
with
never
no
came
matter.
out.
Who came out? What
Because
did
they
you
have
say?
so little depth. at
Edmonds and
linebacker.
Edwards were basically the two in the
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, you're only
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to
yeah.
stay out there. Yeah.
No, Jermaine Edmonds.
Well, yeah,
has
I would
great
imagine
diving
Byard
speed.
and Brisker played majority of that practice. I mean,
Yeah,
did you
Briscoe
see a
was
lot of
on almost
major
every
burns?
single play. Kyler Gordon was on almost every single play. What's his name? Wright Nashawn Wright was in on almost every single play. And Nashawn Wright looked really good, guys. He did. He looked.
Who had the most
really,
snaps
really
at that second cornerback spot?
Nashawn Wright.
Nishan Wright.
Not even a question.
Terrell
Well,
Smith
who's
did-
playing? I thought Nashawn Wright was playing for Jalen Johnson, guys.
Terrell Smith did not look bad either out there.
I thought Nashawn Wright was playing for
He
Jalen
was.
Johnson.
Terrell
Yes, but
Smith-
Tyreek Stevenson was
Smith was
playing.
out there.
Tyreek
That's the
Stevenson
number
was
2.
playing. Yeah, Tyreek Stevenson was
Stevenson was
playing,
2.
you would consider the 1. Tyreek Stevenson was guarding DJ Moore.
So Tyreek came out as with the ones as the number 1 cornerback.
Guarding DJ Moore, and Nashawn Wright was guarding either Zacchaeus or Dunze, whoever.
Okay,
was
so
on.
Tyreek is going to be your number 2.
Well,
It
they
looked
had-
like it to me. It looked like
Unless Nashawn Wright is being molded to play that role when Jalen
Nashawn
Johnson
Wright's on a
comes
lot. The tight end. Nashawn Wright's really tall.
That's because
Very
he's
tall.
6'4".
Yeah, he's very tall. He's on the
Or he's
tight
on
end. He's on Loveland a lot.
Those guys
A
are
lot.
generally nickels, those big guys.
Squeegee,
And
that's Ryan
I'll stand-
Bates.
I'll stand pat and say I still think Terrell Smith.
All right, let me ask you guys this. Was there
Ross
did I-
Smith had an interception.
Hold on, Sean, what did you just say?
Yes, Terrell Smith looked pretty good out there.
Yeah, he looked really good. He looked really
Okay, and
Terrell
you said
Smith's
you'll
a
stand
good
pat
player.
and say Terrell Smith. Terrell Smith's a better player than Tyreek. Is that what you said, or how? What did I didn't hear you completely?
I wouldn't. I'll say what I said last week. I think Terrell Smith's a really good player.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Solid.
Yeah.
These two are going to have to battle it out, but I think Tyreek Stevenson does have more upside. But let's see who earns it.
Smith
I
looked
don't-
good.
I don't think just because what we saw at Soldier Field on Sunday is what it is. I still think out of all the positions, even over left tackle, I think CB2 is the most wide open battle in camp. I do.
Well,
I
what
think
sucks-
Tyreek Stevenson ultimately wins it. I think Tyreek's in for a
Yeah,
hell
you
of a
guys, there's
season.
another battle that is still.
Well, hold on.
Yeah,
Kicker battle.
Yeah, Jonathan
What's-
Kim is a beast, dude.
What sucks
He's a beast.
is
dude.
for the Bears is Terrell Smith.
I heard he missed one yesterday. In
They
there,
both did, but he was kicking from 50 and it was going over the goalposts.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
He was kicking 35 yarders that were going 15 rows up into the
Well,
stands.
then why is he not
Over
kicking
the
it from 60?
No, when he was practicing,
when he was practicing, yeah.
he was kicking 35
They were
yards,
moving
and they
back
went over
5
the net
yards.
every
All
time.
right.
They made it over the
Squeegee,
net.
the backup to Jonah Jackson is Ryan Bates. They've been rotating. Brandon, what were you going to say?
I
You
lost
said,
it.
hold on. You were going to ask a
Guys,
question.
I think Newman is the backup to all 3 spots.
Newman needs to be that guy
I
to
think
me.
he's the backup to all 3
And
spots.
two, for this, I don't.
That's what
need-
Squeegee's saying here too.
I don't need.
Yeah, I agree, Squeegee.
Yeah,
I'm
same here.
pretty sure
He should
Newman
be
is-
your utility interior offensive lineman. Can
Yeah,
jack
he's
of all
like your
trades. can do
swing
it.
guard, basically, is what he is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Newman looked. I only noticed Newman on a couple plays, but he did look good. The one guy who got destroyed a lot was Ryan Bates.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Ryan Bates fucking sucks and needs to be off this team.
Yeah,
And me and Brandon talked about that, and we both would love to see Newman
Yeah, he was
be
getting
that
destroyed.
guy. I think if Newman gets playing time as a starter, he will impress.
You know who else was
immediately.
a wrecking ball yesterday? Yesterday was Deo. Absolute wrecking ball.
He's gonna be
You know
the
who else
most
had a good
undersold player on this defense all
You know
off
who else
season
had a
until
good
he
day? I
starts
know no
doing
one wants to
something.
hear it, but
Montez
Montez
Sweat.
Sweat.
He was also
Montez
old.
Sweat was living in the back.
Oh yeah, you guys. I've also figured out which position they're going
He
to
had
play.
2 sacks. 2 would have been sacks, right? Yesterday,
I've also-
Montez
yeah,
Sweat.
so did
Montez Sweat.
Booker and so did Deo. But I figured out where they're going to play on the field when it comes to the 1 technique, 2 technique, 3 technique. Everywhere and anywhere. They moved everybody every single play. Every single play, every single defensive lineman moved all over the place.
And can I say?
Constantly
I'll
moving.
say this too. This move to nose tackle for Gervon Dexter might be the greatest thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah, he was on fire. He
He looked really good at that nose tackle
Not
position.
the greatest thing that ever happened to the Bears, though.
Yeah,
and
Joe
he
Thuney
blew up Bates for that safety. No, but you can still rotate this year with Grady Jarrett and Andrew Billings at the 3 and be just fine.
Grady
for-
Jarrett's
no, it would be
really
Grady.
bad pass rush grade last season.
Andrew
So you got to
Billings.
concern
It
yourself.
would be Grady Jarrett and Shamar
Shamar
Turner.
Turner would be your
Shamar
three
Turner,
play.
yeah. If
It would
Shamar
be
Turner,
Billings and Dexter at your nose if you were doing that type of rotation. I think.
I believe Billings is going to play some of the 3 as well.
And
Yeah,
Grady
Thompson,
Jarrett
there's going to be a
had-
lot of stunts.
Doesn't
There's gonna
make
be a
any
lot
sense.
of stunts.
and Grady
A lot.
Jarrett had an
Yeah.
abysmal.
There was a lot of stunts yesterday. but you
I
know what
want
it was?
Billings to be that guy that takes up 2 blocks on my defensive.
You want to know what it was? There was a lot of safety blitzes yesterday. A lot of things
Yeah,
coming. from the
Kyler Gordon
blitz
would have
yesterday.
destroyed Tyson Bagent on that play. He was Tyson Bagent's real lucky he held up. It was like because
Grady,
I know the
Grady
quarterback's not supposed to
Jarrett,
get touched, but they were getting touched, guys.
Grady Jarrett had a 1.9 win rate on pass rushing plays last year.
Who
That's
did?
one of the lowest in the league for starting defensive tackles. Grady
the
Jarrett's win
rotation
rate
is
last
going
year
to
was
be
one of the
important.
lowest in the league.
Yeah, but Bernie, he's
At
not
a
going to be a guy.
1.9%.
Yeah, and that Atlanta Falcons defensive line overall was awful at generating pressure.
And Grady Jarrett's
Yeah, it was also
cascading
Matthew. It was
effect.
Matthew Judon's worst year of his career. It was
Yeah,
everybody
it
in
was-
the defensive line's
yeah.
worst year of their career.
I want to point out, I
because
don't
they're
want
all old.
I don't want this to become like a us versus Melon Smasher thing. We are glad you're here. We are not
That's what I said
meatball. We are not meatball fans. If you go back and listen, we got shit going back over a year now. So like we will tell it like it is, and we tell it like we see it, and we're not just jumping on the bandwagon here. That's not the case. And if you obviously can relate to us because you're here talking to us and we're having a conversation. And again, we appreciate your opinions and your takes, and please keep sending them our way. But we're not like the meat. He said meatballs and potatoes guy. Who was calling for accountability on? We were calling for accountability to this team.
Yeah, we all picked the Bears
all
to go
last year.
8-9 or 9-8. If we were meatball fans, we would be like, they're going to go 15-2 and win.
No,
the
we bought into the last year was the first year that I bought into. This year I haven't made my picks yet but I got you. But like, last year we all bought into the hype, and that was the first year that I really have. I have not been accepting of what the Bears have been putting on the field. It's been trash. It's not been acceptable. In Chicago, you need to put a better product on the field, and we believe, reading the tea leaves and seeing what's happening, that we can talk about the trends going back to 2022 or 2018 or 2012. This feels different. It does. It seems like they're putting an infrastructure in place, and they're allowing the people that they've hired to do these jobs to do the jobs. And I think that's going to lead to success that's sustainable for the Chicago Bears team. I believe that. I don't see them winning. I don't see them going over 500 this year. But I think the sustainable success is coming because of the decisions this team is making.
And for the first time in 5 years, there's a ton of competition on the Chicago Bears. I mean, there are positions up for grabs. I believe the kicker position is up for grabs. I believe
compare it to last year, it's not even close, Kyle.
Running back is up for grabs, or backup running back, I guess you'd say. I think slot receiver is up for grabs. I think left tackle is up for grabs. I think cornerback number 2 is up for grabs. And all the guys who have been competing have all played pretty well. So even your backup is going to be a starting caliber player, like Sean, like you guys were talking about, Tyreek, Stevenson, or Smith. Either way, you're in a good position, right? Because if one of them ends up being better and is your starter, the backups was almost just as good. And I think Tyreek Stevenson.
The competition is going to breed massive success, and yes, the bench will be that much better because of the competition. I am more confident in the fact that Ben Johnson is going to get it out of these players because he's going to make them work for every fucking thing that they get. I'm more confident in that than anything else. I don't know if Caleb Williams is going to be a bust or not. We don't know that shit yet. The jury is still out on that. We don't know if the Bears are going to win 8 games this year. We have no idea. But you can see when a guy does it right, when a team starts doing the right things. When the Bears have been doing the wrong things, I've called it out 100% of the time. And we see it. We know it. But right now, this team has made decisions that are very anti-Bearsy compared to what we've seen in years past. From my perspective,
well, there's been a culture shift in Chicago, and it started when Kevin Warren was hired as the president. Guys, they had the same president for 3 decades prior to this one. So yeah, if you're starting to see some change, it's okay to believe in it because it's being run by a different person. And I don't think that Kevin Warren wanted to move forward with Matt Eberflus. And he got hired right at the end of that offseason. This is Kevin Warren's really first balls deep, hands in offseason with the Chicago Bears. I think that he's made an impact on this franchise already. They fired a head coach in the middle of the season. They hadn't done that in 100 years. I think that he's going to further make an impact coming up in this season as well. And I think he's going to continue to. And I think the Bears are starting to act like a professional organization, which is just not something we've been able to say about them for their entire existence. But the culture is shifting, Dustin. It's culture. That's what you're starting to see. You see a culture.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen ever.
It can be trendy to jump down the quarterback's throat, guys, when he's making mistakes, when you want him to make mistakes. That to jump on that when you are in a preseason training camp where you're expected to make mistakes, to figure the shit out and learn from it. Yeah, anybody can be like, oh, look, Caleb missed all those targets when he was throwing at the net, and oh, well, that's funny and that's hilarious. But then he also turned around and nailed 4 in a row on the same exact drill,
15 in a row.
So like it. you got to focus on both things. It's not, if you're focusing on just one thing, then you're more biased than I am. You know, I'm looking at all sides of this. I really am. And I expect this to be a learning process for the quarterback. And if he picks it up, I think he's going to be really good. And if he doesn't, we'll be talking about we need a new quarterback in Chicago. We got to let it play out on the field. But it's okay to have anticipation for your NFL season. That's why we're fucking here, guys. That's why we're here.
And at least they're making the moves that the rest of the NFL would consider the right moves. I mean, you guys, when's the last time the Bears addressed the offensive line? I mean, it's been 20 years?
It's the most improved unit in football, guys. Yeah. Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson went out and instantly transitioned this offensive line from a pile of garbage to like one of the best units in football, potentially. Yeah. Just on paper. That's on paper. Again, this is not on the field, Kyle. But you would expect that the move that they made would translate to this offensive line being much better than they were last year.
They have 3 top 10 players at their respective positions in Joe Tooney,
in pass blocking specifically,
and Darnell Wright. They are all 3 top 10 players at right tackle, left guard, and center.
Yeah, and Jonah Jackson was ranked the number 2 overall guard when he was playing in Detroit at run blocking. So he was
one of the best pass blocking guards the last 2 years too, Kyle. So, I mean, you've added real talent to this offensive line, and you've added competition. And you can go and look at last year. Left tackle was just Braxton Jones, and that's it. That's that. This year, Ozzie Trapillo is pushing him for everything he's got. Both of those guys are going to get better because of it. And whoever wins that job is going to be playing next to Joe Tooney, one of the best guards in football, a guy who has learned from some of the best coaches and quarterbacks in football. Like, how is that not a net positive? And you're not talking about that. You're talking about Caleb Williams and how shitty he is, but you're not talking about how improved the most important thing about last year and the negative effects that happened. You're not talking about how improved those things are, the offensive line and the play calling. And you got to talk about those things too, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but Albert Breer went to the Bears training camp on what was that, Friday he went? Was it Friday he was there? Sean, do you know what day he was there? He went to Minnesota the next day, so I think it was Bears Friday.
It wasn't Friday. It was Tuesday because we had his interview on the Wednesday.
I don't know, but Albert Breer came out and they made him. They were like, "What did you see in the Bears training camp?" And obviously, he talked about Caleb's struggles and how the offense isn't really clicking right now. But another thing he said is, all football fans, watch out for the Chicago Bears defense, because I think under Dennis Allen, this unit's a lot better than people are giving them credit for, and I think this unit has potential to finish top 10. Albert Breer said that. This is the guy who's going to every single training camp throughout the entire NFL, looking at all 32 teams. And this guy came out and was like, that Bears defense is aggressive and they get after you. And that's what they've done in the entire. If there's one thing that's been consistent for the Chicago Bears this training camp, is the Bears defense is aggressive. And they're really good at sticking to you in man-to-man coverage.
The defense has been kicking the offensive ass this entire training camp.
And Melon Smasher, I get it. I get it, because he's saying it's not hate, it's disappointment.
But you don't have a legitimate reason for disappointment yet. You're finding reasons. You're inventing them.
You can't be disappointed because the season hasn't started. But when you say that you're jaded, I understand that. But like I said, Kevin Warren has made an impact on this football team. He allowed the Bears to aggressively hire and pay the coach they wanted. He allowed the Bears to fire the coach they didn't want here anymore. There are things changing, and I'll say this, man:
you're holding the son accountable for the sins of the father. That's
you probably approach this. You're probably approaching this season as a general football fan, thinking the Detroit Lions are the best team in this division. They're going to win it again. Remember, that was a team that lost for 50 years. And I'm sure their fans were jaded at some juncture. But they're now the favorite to win the NFC. So things change. Things can change for the better. If it can change in Detroit, it can change anywhere. And I expect that where the change happened in Detroit, Ben Johnson is now your head coach, that things will change for the better here. And whether or not that happens with Caleb Williams, you still got to believe in Ben Johnson. That's why I said, if you dislike Caleb Williams, who you've watched play a rookie season, for sure, that's all you, man. That's your opinion. To dislike Ben Johnson as a head coach has no merit, none at all whatsoever. So it just doesn't make sense.
Oh, and especially if you dislike a guy, like I've seen a lot of these guys who say they don't like Kevin Warren. Dude, you guys, we don't even know what Kevin Warren does. Like, you can't possibly dislike somebody when we don't even know what his job description is. Like, you know his job title, But you don't know what his job describes. Is he here solely to work on the stadium? Is he the one that was like, hey, Bears, you guys need to address your offensive line? I've been around football for. Is he the one who's like, I'm the one hiring Ben Johnson? Or I'm the one who's making sure that Ryan Poles is in charge of that decision and nobody else? I mean, how can people go out there and be like, I'm not a big fan of Kevin Warren?
Kyle, I think
we don't even know what he does.
I'm making sure George doesn't fuck this up. I think that's
Yeah,
he's become the buffer between the ownership and the actual football operations. And every good team has that, guys. Every good team has that. Even the Cubs, who Sean is very disappointed in right now. Every good team has
Anthony Swanson with an error.
Listen, man, it's not the same. Like when you say Razzle says, just like when we predict wins, that's what he's doing when he's predicting losses. If you're not accounting for the improvements that have been made around this guy and then giving him this year to see how he performs with those improvements, then you're not actually giving it a fair shot. That's just the reality. We have not seen him play a game this season with this offense, with the weapons he has around him. If he sucks this year, I'm with you guys. I'm not going to ignore what my eyes see. If Caleb, the same mistakes that plagued Caleb last year, the self-inflicted stuff that he did to himself, which those things existed. If he does that this year with the changes that have been made consistently, if he does that consistently, I'm going to have major concerns. I've been saying that.
And he needs to a lot of money.
Yeah, he needs to improve this season. You need to see progress from Caleb, given the improvements that have happened around him. If he doesn't improve because of those, then you have to start questioning whether or not he is the guy.
We did an
entire
entire
just saying
show.
He's going to suck without acknowledging the improvements around him and how those things should and could impact a young quarterback that was in the worst situation you've seen in a long time, any rookie quarterback be in. If you're going to just point those things out and not give credence to the things that have happened since then to improve his situation, then you're not actually giving it a fair shot. That's the reality, guys.
Yeah,
and we did an entire show about the possibility of Caleb Williams being a bust and how that might affect the Bears season. And it's a very likely possibility that a quarterback is a bust, and not just in Chicago, in this fucking league.
Yeah, play the odds. Yeah, you'll probably be right.
And Razzle, of course, Razzle was there for that show. But guys, we put some perspective on this season. We dimmed the lights a little bit. Me and Dustin talked about the potential threats to the season and what could derail it. So we're not unaware of the fact that these things occur more likely than not. But the Bears have done the right things to make sure that they've eliminated the problems they had last season.
They've brought the probability down. They've brought the probability of those things tanking your season down.
All right, so let's talk about it realistically, guys. I mean, Caleb Williams had the fourth most single season passing yards in Chicago.
Wow, the Eagles just traded for Ja'Cory Bennett, guys.
Of course they did. So
from the Raiders, the cornerback from the Raiders, that guy's fast.
So the Chicago Caleb Williams is the fourth all-time leader in single season passing yards for the Chicago Bears. This rookie season with 3 different play callers and one of the worst offensive lines we've ever seen in the history of the Chicago Bears. If everything that they've done, what's up, EV Warrior? Thanks for joining the show.
That's a new guy in the chat. I've never seen him before.
And EV, you're right. There's no more excuse for Caleb Williams. This is his year to show. I mean, the only excuse he has that's going to take him a while is adjustment period. Yeah.
That's for you, EV.
Here, hit that like. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, EV.
Yeah, you still have to allow him this adjustment period to learn this new offense, and he's going to make mistakes because obviously learning a playbook in the NFL is not very easy, and he's going to need some time to perfect this offense. But if you just take the default, right? If you're just like, all right, well, he had 20 touchdowns, 6 picks, and 3,500 yards last year. They've improved everything around him: the coach, the offensive line, the weapons. By default, he should be 10% better. Would you consider Caleb Williams having a season of 3,700 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, and 8 picks? Would you guys consider that a failure? Do you consider that a bust type quarterback?
No, he's got to be running the offense.
Take it easy on each other in the chat, guys.
Listen, you got to be running the offense if you're Caleb. No, guys, the chat, go wild.
Yeah, do your thing.
It's a free country. We want you here.
Thanks, EV. Appreciate it, man. You guys, he said he liked and subscribed.
My man, EV Warrior. Thanks for checking in. We're happy to have you. Keep
Thanks,
stay tuned. We got shows coming all week, every week. But no, I think it's about his control of the offense, and I want to get Sean involved because Sean's been,
watching the Cubs
incognito for a little bit here. But I just think I want to see him control the offense and make the right decision, Kyle. If those stats are solid stats, and if it leads to a better win-loss record this year, and you see improvement week to week from the team, and Caleb commanding the offense and buying into what Ben Johnson is preaching, then I'm really good with those stats.
Well, it starts with the huddle. It starts with walking into the huddle.
Yeah, I don't want to see the pre-snap bullshit. That will drive me crazy, and I'll be out. If you fuck up your season with pre-snap penalties, I can't do it, man. I can't do another year of that, Sean.
Now, you're also talking about a guy who had 1,500 yards on the dot against NFC North opponents, which was considered one of the best divisions in football.
It was the best by win-loss record in the NFL.
0 interceptions,
Like quite a bit.
98.2 passer rating. I mean, he showed up. You know,
That's a great point.
You know, I put this up the other day, and I got reactions. He's 1-5 in the division. Good. Who cares? Well, I care because those are great numbers. And guess what? He didn't have a field goal blocked. He put the Bears in position to win in multiple games against the division. He was only blown out. I believe the only game they were blown out was against Minnesota.
Yeah, Anthro's calling it garbage time stats, and that's not even true. He got them back in multiple games against NFC North opponents that were blown by coaching and special teams.
When the game comes down to a field goal, there's no garbage time.
Yeah,
garbage time never existed.
It might have felt like garbage time because the offense looked like trash for half the goddamn game, but then Caleb got him moving and he got him back in the game. That you never stop playing, man. Those stats are not irrelevant.
I hate to say it. That's ignorant talk because obviously, if you're saying that you didn't watch the games,
well, and I also want to see, and the games the Bears didn't get blown out of too many games.
They got blown out again. I think Minnesota beat
Minnesota
beat us 30-13 or
Arizona.
But most of the fourth quarters at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of the quarter, the Bears still had a chance. They still needed to play some football. And I'm going to say this, man: if Caleb Williams is playing his best football, and when you consider garbage time, meaning the fourth quarter,
thanks for making
I'm all right with that too. And I don't want to listen. I'm not picking fights with anybody. Listen, our last quarterback threw the lowest passer rating in the league in the fourth quarter
in the last 2 years.
2 years in a row.
When it mattered the most.
I would rather have a guy who's throwing his numbers in the fourth quarter than a guy who's falling apart in the fourth quarter.
And Mellon says Sam Howell had 39, 50, and 26 touchdowns. He had 21 touchdowns that year with the Commanders.
He had 22 interceptions.
No, he had 21 interceptions as well. Yeah, it was 21 and 21.
I thought he had one more interception than touchdown.
It was atrocious, and he was sacked like crazy too. It's a team sport, dude. It's a team sport.
And here, as he brings that up,
want to put it on the quarterback. It's a team sport.
As he brings that name up, I still think Sam Howell's going to be the starter when we play on Monday night. I do. I really do.
I don't. I think they have too much.
That's worst case scenario for the Vikings, bro. That is worst case scenario for the Vikings. You need to get that
but he had 21 interceptions.
Here, I'll tell you this.
Well, hold on.
I don't think it would be worst case scenario because
I don't buy that.
With Sam Darnold. Sam
Mellon
Howell has the instincts to be a good
I'm gonna challenge you on that either. I'm not buying into that stats don't matter stuff because if the Bears come out and they win 11 games and make the playoffs, but Caleb Williams only throws 3,200 yards and 18 touchdowns, you're going to shit all over that dude. There's no doubt about it. It doesn't matter. The Bears could go win a fucking Super Bowl, but if Caleb's numbers aren't where you expect them to be for a franchise quarterback and the number one overall generational talent,
if he's like Trent Dilfer,
you're going to shit on this. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. So I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that either.
No, stats do.
Well, you guys, how about Sean? I'm glad you brought that up because let's forget about stats for a second. I mean, the fact that this guy brought them back in the Minnesota game, they ended up losing in overtime. You brought them back in the Detroit game. Matt Eberflus didn't call timeout. You brought them both Green Bay games. You brought them back in both of them. I mean, what are the games I'm missing? He brought them back. He took the lead in the Washington game. He took the lead in the Washington game.
Yeah, that game was won by a Caleb Williams
by every other team in the NFL.
They should have won the Colts game too. To be honest.
The offense was fucking atrocious in that game. That had nothing to do with.
Well, Caleb fumbled that game away too. He got stripped from behind. That ended that game.
Yeah, you also had five linemen falling on their ass at the goal line.
When DeAndre Swift lost 10 yards on a goal line play. Yeah, no, listen, that was the game where I called for Shane Waldron's job. If you guys remember, we came on here and I was like, Shane Waldron needs to be fired immediately. And I said that Matt Eberflus. That was week 2. That was bad. They were bad. So, but I mean. When you think about that, you're bringing that up. You're bringing up the NFC North stuff, Sean, and you're bringing up that Colts game and like all the shit that Caleb and this offense went through last year. When you start talking about the problems that they have this year, I feel like they're first world problems compared to third world problems we had last year. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a team trying to figure out how to drive a really fast and hard to drive car.
Melon Smasher.
That's what this team is, right?
Yeah.
So like there's
Wow.
going to be some struggles in that, isn't it? But once
Oh,
they start
done.
learning how to drive it,
You're gonna be okay. And
yeah.
I'm going to challenge. Melon Smasher. I want efficient offense. Caleb doesn't.
what's up,
absolutely nothing.
Don? Thanks for
Would
joining
you
the
say
show,
that
brother.
Caleb Williams was efficient in protecting the football?
6 interceptions.
And the
I'd say
rookie
being
record for
sacked
most pass
68
attempts,
times.
He didn't
most
throw
pass
an
attempts
interception
without
for
an
like
interception
9
by a
straight
rookie.
games.
He had the most pass attempts by a rookie without throwing an interception in NFL history
That's pretty efficient.
on a season in which he was murdered or damn near it. I think there's
This is
Rat-
why
some
Brandon,
efficient qualities in Caleb
This
Williams.
is why I don't care about
Good
these
point, Dante. I
preseason
agree with you.
or these training camp interceptions. I watched what he did on one of the most worst run offenses in the history of football, and he
What's up,
was
Don Burr?
efficient quarterback. So I don't give a shit. You go to
It's a good
practice
point,
to
Sean.
practice, and you want to know if I can quote Allen Iverson. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. He's not doing
Yeah.
it in the games.
Yeah. A lot
So
of
let's
quarterbacks.
all just calm down a little bit.
There's a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL who would they have hit, if they had been the Bears starting quarterback last year, the Bears would have had the number 1 pick in the draft. A lot. What
Well,
Caleb-
there's
That
a
would
lot
have
of
been
quarterbacks
kind of
style.
nice, actually.
There's a lot of quarterbacks that they had been the Bears quarterback last season. They just wouldn't have made it out of the season. They would have been fucking injured.
They
There's
probably
no
would
doubt
have thrown
about that.
30 interceptions.
How many of those guys? How many guys like a Matthew Stafford just wouldn't have made it out alive?
I could tell you this: Justin Fields surely would not have had 3,500 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions if he played for the Bears in
Well, no,
2024. I
Fields
can
has never
guarantee
gotten
that.
3,500 passing
Yeah.
yards.
Squeegee says more through the air or out of the backfield. It's going to be both. More through the air, obviously. But like I think, as I said earlier, you're going to see him wheel out of that backfield and Ben's going to try to find mismatches with him on a line.
Well, if he's talking about the offense, hopefully it's balanced. That's my hope is that they
more
run the
balanced
ball
towards
well.
the passing game than running. I don't want to see him running a lot, but getting him in the backfield will create an advantage for the offense. I believe that in terms of finding a mismatch.
And you want to talk about a curse, really quick off subject. How about the pitcher the Cubs traded for getting hurt and being taken out in the third inning?
Yeah, Sean, on the North Side 9, I said, you could trade for an all-star caliber
Soroka?
pitcher, and if he gets hurt, you're right back where you
Yeah.
started. Like,
Wow.
you're right back where
He
you
said
started.
it's a
Save it for
shoulder,
Saturday, gentlemen.
shoulder discomfort.
No, I mean the chat is heavily invested in this Cubs game, man. This is
Not-
a bunch of Cubs fans in here.
I hope I
Yeah,
didn't. Melon Smasher, don't. I think I said don't leave.
What are you talking about? Did Melon Smasher say he's going to
Yeah.
leave?
No, we haven't gotten a comment in a while. Oh, there it is.
No, he's right here.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Melon Smasher. There to smash melons.
Okay, so here it is. Guys.
Melons are my
Fields.
dreams.
He's got the field stats. So like this is one of those guys that didn't want to see Fields go and tried to knock Caleb to boost up Fields, and obviously butthurt that Fields is gone. And
Justin, I made this connection with the bare minimum. This is always the connection.
Fields
It always
last
is.
34 starts, 55 total. I'm not even going to read the stats, bro. It's just that you have them on cue.
That's not
Kind of
good.
shows your bias is showing, Melon. Your
That's
bias
not
is showing.
good,
And
Melon
they're not
Smasher.
great. Yeah, no,
Joe
it's not
Burrow
like
had
you're-
43 touchdowns last year.
Not like
I
you're
think he missed a game,
a
dude.
huge case for Fields. But my
I think he
bigger
missed
point
the game,
is,
bro.
like, you had those stats ready to roll because of the fact that this is where your bias comes from. It's quite clear, and I get it. You go
You know
be a
what?
Jets fan. It's got to
What?
suck to be a Jets fan almost as much as it sucks to be a Bears fan.
Yeah, it's worse
mean,
to be a
Jesus.
Jets fan.
So
Let me-
you want to
let
go
me-
do that? You'll love that shit.
let me
Talking down
tackle
on that
this.
team.
Let me tackle this. I wanted Jaden Daniels too, and it's well documented before the draft. I was traded down and move on, take Daniels, see if you can get a package for that first overall pick. I said this last week, and I'll say it again. Didn't work out. This is our guy. He's the guy in Chicago. Root for your quarterback. Root for your team.
Let's
I
see it
don't
on the field.
understand.
Let's see it on the
And-
field.
and-
Let's-
and-
And again, here,
and games that matter.
I'm not promising Caleb Williams success. I don't know what this guy's going to do when he gets on the field. It looks like he has the tools. He's definitely got a high IQ. I don't think he's an idiot. Nothing that he's shown me shows me that he's an idiot. He was able to sift through the bullshit last year and still be a productive quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I still think in this system,
We
I
love
think
you,
he's going to be
Notorious.
better. And
Well-
also, Again, I just said it. It's practice, dude. I guarantee Jaden
Listen.
Daniels is throwing picks in
Well,
practice.
hold on.
Everybody,
Dustin, hold on. Hold
I
on.
like Jaden Daniels. I would not have been upset if the Bears drafted Jaden Daniels. I like Caleb Williams better. I want to see how it plays
But-
out. I would not have picked
Here,
Daniels.
hold
over
on though.
Williams, but
Hold on, Brandon.
Ryan
I will
Thomas
say
Jr.
this.
is a damn good player.
I
Everybody
will
knew
say
that
this.
coming out of the draft too. I mean,
I
these
will
aren't
say this.
hot
And
takes.
Kyle, you know this for a fact because I talked to you more than anybody about
I'm
this.
Sean's reference point.
No, you are because I was at the fucking how many times at the bar was I like,
Fucking
dude, fuck
bibliography.
Caleb Williams, give me Jaden Daniels. How many times did I say it?
A lot.
So,
Well-
and I gave you reasons why, and a lot of them are rearing their ugly head right now in the NFL.
But let's
Only he
not
can't correct them, though.
Well,
Let's get back to-
and situation matters too, right? And
It does.
and the situation for
Daniels
Caleb
had
has
infrastructure.
improved.
James, Caleb Williams had no infrastructure at all.
Listen,
Zero.
That was my
Nothing-
point with
nothing.
comparing him to the second-year quarterbacks, guys. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, McCarthy, even Penix now at this point. Like these guys have at least stability and continuity with their play callers and with what they have on their team.
Even JJ McCarthy, he's had the
Yeah,
same coach. He may have been sitting on the
yes,
bench, but at least he's got.
but
the
he
same
was
coach.
going through the offense with that coach
Yeah,
all
for
last year.
sure.
So I
He's in
mean,
the
like
classroom.
Caleb Williams did not have that. Drake May has not had that really. Drake May was in the same position as Caleb. So you're giving, honestly, I'm giving both of those guys a little more grace coming into this season because this is them starting all over.
Which any
It
sports fan in
just
the world should.
is. That's
But
just
there's-
logical,
but
guys.
there's
That's
no
not,
point.
That's not
It's
making
just using
excuses.
your
All right,
brain.
I'm making this point. I've been trying to for 5 minutes. Hold on, guys.
Brandon. I
Hold
guess
on.
my point is, I didn't want Caleb Williams, but I'm also not rooting for this guy to fail as my quarterback of my favorite team on this goddamn planet.
Well, and we should have paid no merit or attention to that comment anyways, because Melon Smasher, it all stands the same. They could have drafted Jaden Daniels. You're jaded. You said it. It's disappointment. Matt Eberflus still would have been fired. Jaden Daniels might have had the best season in the world here in Chicago. It's not like you would have come into this season approaching it any differently. You hate Ryan Poles. You hate Ben Johnson. You hate the Bears organization. You hate its history. You hate all the failure. And it's
Don't
made you
block
hate
me.
just about everything. So it doesn't matter if Jaden Daniels is the quarterback. Jaded is jaded. You're going to approach the season the same way. You're disappointed in everything they do, no matter what. You haven't even said that the offensive line is improved. We haven't even
Yeah.
gotten that out of you.
Yeah. So I mean, like we just got to see it on the field, and if it comes out that Caleb snaps and has a great,
Dude, Kyle,
okay.
was that not an
Okay.
oops? That was an oops. He goes, oops, and just got a fucking triple. You gotta be kidding me. Like, you can't write this shit.
Well, he didn't get a triple, Sean. He got
He's
a
at
double.
third.
He
He
got
got a
a
fucking
double,
triple.
and Ian Happ's an idiot. That's what he got. He didn't get
Ian
a
Happ should
triple.
have thrown it.
He didn't get a triple.
But he literally goes, oops, down the fucking line. Shoot me in the fucking face.
Nobody shoot Sean in the face.
Oh my god.
I'm thinking
Sean,
about
I'm
it.
not talking about Ian Happ not throwing his third. I'm talking about Ian Happ not being able to find the ball that was laying right in front of his feet. That's what I'm talking about, dude.
Oh.
That's going to be on ESPN's not
Hold
top
on, here
10
it is.
for Ian
Bruce,
Happ. You look lost.
Ian Happ. Come on,
He looked lost.
Erica. Ian crap.
Oh god, he did.
What was that? This guy looks like he's never played baseball a day in his life. Bro.
Listen, Gold Glovers even make bad plays, and the guy's like a 4-time Gold Glover. I'll give him a break.
Listen, I'll say this. I'm not following this Cubs season. I have followed many Cubs seasons throughout my life. I am not following this one. But when
Good, it
people,
won't end in disappointment for you, Dustin.
when
like it's
people,
going to for all of
when
us.
people started saying this is the best Cubs roster I've ever seen in my lifetime, I was like, "Are you fucking insane? We are not even to the All-Star break yet. You had a team that just won a World Series not too
I don't know
long
who
ago."
said that. It's
Like,
certainly
I was
not.
seeing it on social
I've
media.
read it.
Well,
I've read it. Yeah.
yeah. So
This roster's
it's like,
better than
the
2016.
overreaction was a little too much.
Sean knows me. I've been saying since day one this is not a World Series team, and now a bunch of Cubs fans are coming out like this is. I don't think this is a World Series team. I'm like, yeah, no shit. I told you if you lose your best pitcher in the first week of the season for the rest of the season, and your pitching staff wasn't very deep to begin with, you're not a World Series team.
That was a big deal.
Well,
yeah,
and you can talk about the Kyle Tuckers and Pete
and when you're
Armstrongs
when you,
all
when you
day,
don't make
but
the moves at the
but
deadline, that's a problem.
when you're looking at Matthew Boyd and Shotei Managa and Colin Ray and comparing that to John Lester, Jake Arrieta, and Kyle Hendricks,
Got close.
you're out of your
Close.
goddamn mind.
Not
Yeah,
even
you
a
can't
Out of your
justify
mind.
what you can't justify to me, and then this is why I will not give the Cubs my attention because they don't deserve it. When you're one of the biggest markets and make the most money in Major League Baseball, and you don't make moves to make your team better when you have a chance to be competitive, and you don't sign guys and break the bank to make your team as good as it possibly can be, and you make excuses for why you don't. I don't have patience for that shit. When you got low market teams that are paying more for their roster than you,
the Padres.
that's a
You
that's
guys
a problem.
don't mind the Derrick Rose jersey on Dustin's wall back there.
Listen,
that organization's worse.
I'm not. I am not. I put out my article on the Bulls. I am very disappointed in what they've done. They just extended Billy Donovan. Chicago in general likes to kick us in the balls. The Bears have been doing it to me for years.
No, Dustin, you make a good point.
Years.
I read a stat today. I read numbers today. This is not. I called Sean. I told him this. Did you guys know that over the last 5 years? So traditionally, if you look at them in totality, right now the Dodgers are their number one organization in terms of value in the baseball. Then it goes Yankees, Red Sox, Cubs. The last 5 years, the Cubs have surpassed the Red Sox for the third most valuable organization in baseball. Not like in totality.
And where are they at in spending, Kyle?
And where are they at in spending? 11, 12, 14, 11, 12 over the last 5 seasons.
So what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I agree with you. That's Tom Ricketts lying so he can save money. That's what that is. He's a liar.
Yeah. Just like you're not putting the best. You don't have a fucking cap. You're not putting the best product on the field. You have the money to spend. You have it. So it not being spent, that's a problem. And yeah, the Bulls can kiss my ass too. The Bulls have shitted on their fan base for far too many years at this point. The Bears have done the same thing. Yeah, what we're talking about is hoping that the Bears are changing that pattern.
They certainly seem to be the team that's like, hey, we're all in. Whatever we can
seem
get.
To be
they just spent all their money. They just spent all of their money.
Since 2017, Chicago's sports teams have, I think, 4 playoff wins, and 2 of them are the White Sox.
Yeah, it's very depressing.
I will say this.
Oh God.
Everyone, just relax. Just relax a little bit because
it's upsetting the
Bears and the Cubs are all not that far away from being very competitive every year.
Yeah, the Cubs farm system is still
Chicago is gonna be back on the map of the sports world for a decade coming.
Yeah, but like you look at
who we all think he can be.
No, you don't care and you don't want to hear it, but the White Sox are going to be a good team.
The White Sox are getting better. The White Sox are getting better.
The core of the White Sox got
a lot of young talent.
The core of the White
young
Sox
emerging talent.
Kyle Teals, the Montgomerys,
it does make me want to puke.
Are amazing.
Colston Montgomery's a stud.
I guess my major point is like you see teams like the Cowboys, man, and they just never kind of disappear from like the conversation, right? Relevance. The Lakers, even the Pittsburgh Steelers, like these the
Tampa Bay Lightning,
these charter franchises, they find ways to sustain success, whether they're bigger markets, a little bit smaller markets, whatever it is.
Tampa Bay Rays, the smallest market in baseball, and this team find ways to make the playoffs every single year.
When you're in Chicago and your team are constantly making money because we constantly spend our money to go watch you and to get your jerseys and your memorabilia and all of that, right? And you're one of the highest earning team franchises in your respective sport, and you're not giving putting as much competition on the field as you can. That is very disappointing, and that has been a trend in Chicago. And the Cubs should have made more moves at the deadline to improve this roster because the holes that you guys were talking about, they're going to keep showing themselves. They're going to keep showing themselves on this roster, and it's going to lead to that disappointment.
Sean, how much was 2 waters and 2 hot dogs at Soldier Field yesterday?
Oh, dude, it was $9.
That's it?
All of it?
No, it's $9 for a hot dog.
No, it was either the guy rang it up wrong, but
no, it was probably because it was Family Fest.
The charge was $8.88 for 2 waters and 2 hot dogs.
That's not bad at all. That's not.
It was actually really.
It was
shocked.
It was a weird experience, guys. We were into the no alcohol section, and I assure you that the guy next to me had alcohol in some way. Because I was gonna punch that guy in the face, dude.
I thought you guys were making like a sober choice. They don't serve alcohol.
No, it says there is no alcohol allowed in this section, and every seat in front of you.
The right and left of the Bears tunnel is non-alcoholic. Where the Bears
but this guy behind us, he found a way. He's like, I
Had
think
the
I lost
flash.
my kid.
Hammer.
I lost my kid. I've never been so I've never lost my kid. I'm like, this. You might want to get up and start looking.
You guys seen him?
This is a
You
big
seen him?
deal. This is a
That's-
big deal, bro.
Yeah, no. If you lose your kid at a place like that, that's a problem.
That's a big deal.
He's on the field.
I got a streaker.
I gotta say, I'm on there because Melon Smasher says he's defending Jed Hoyer. He says the 2026 Cubs outfield will be Owen, Casey, PCA, and Tucker. I don't think Tucker's
Is it
gonna
Casey
be
or
here.
Casey?
Casey.
Casey.
Okay,
Casey.
that's weird how they spell it.
Yeah, Tucker ain't. gonna be
And
it.
PCA just struck out for the 9th time in a row.
I don't
Yeah,
think,
his
I don't think
fault.
Kyle Tucker's gonna be here, man. I
Kyle
don't think,
Tucker,
and I don't think Owen.
I
I
don't
don't think
believe
Owen
it.
Casey's gonna be here. To be honest with you, I think if the Cubs have the chance to make a trade for pitching in the offseason, Casey's gone.
Guys, what else did we want to talk about? We kind of took a little.
Well, we wanted to ask
curve
Kyle and
here.
Sean if there's a player that's not mentioned consistently.
Yeah, who stood out to you
that stood
guys
out.
there yesterday?
Because I was going to ask Ruben
I'll be
Hippolyte, but
honest,
you made
for-
that clear.
Yeah,
For me, I liked what because we all dogged the running backs and said the running back room is going to be one of the weakest positions. Either our front seven, our offensive line is much better, or our defensive front sucks. But
it's possible both of
they
those things
all-
are true, Sean.
they all look good. Roshan was hitting the gap, dude. He was getting yards after contact. So was Manungai. Manungai looked really good.
Manungai is a bowling
Front
ball,
side.
bro. He's a bowling
Yeah,
ball.
I mean, they were also too on multiple sets. And I think they were the same play. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but they were the same play. They split Roshan out wide left at one point, and Kyle Manungai as well. So I liked what I saw out of the running back room for a position that we all sat here and said we think it's going to be.
Were those guys catching the ball, Sean?
I don't think they got him.
Swifted.
Yeah,
That's-
Swift. I would imagine Swift
Yeah.
got involved.
No other throws to any other.
Swift-
running back.
So the
Swift
running back,
failed.
the running backs
Failed.
overall, the running
I
backs overall.
thought they looked great.
I mean, the best player on the field yesterday was certainly Jaquan Brisker. There's no doubt about it. But outside
Wow.
of Jaquan Brisker,
Montez Sweat.
outside Jaquan Brisker, if you're talking about players who stood out, I know you guys, this is not to start a
The
conversation. I don't
notorious
go down a
Swiss
rabbit
Lady.
hole, but Cole Kmet is 100%.
Kyle
Coach
Mike
looked great yesterday.
Every time he's asked to do anything, he does it very, very well. So I mean, he's just a really good football player. But yeah, I'm going to say the guy that surprised me the most. I shouldn't say I'm surprised because I know he's a good player, but he looked really good yesterday. Was Zacchaeus is always open. I think it's just the slot guys. I think it's the scheme and the slot. Zacchaeus and Luther Burden were open on every single play. Every single play. Every
Zacchaeus
single
is a
play.
good football player.
Listen,
man.
I want to talk about Cole Kmet because he had the touchdown yesterday, right? And he got talked about
Now he's playing fullback.
and when Ben Johnson's going to find a lot of different ways to get both of those guys on the field, and that's what I really want to talk about. But when Ben Johnson was asked, as we already mentioned, like who are the guys that you trust the most at the wide receiver tight end position, the first name he mentioned was Cole Kmet after some thought, right? And so that stands out. That tells you that Cole Kmet is going to be an integral part of this offense. Ben Johnson trusts him. He's going to rely on him, but
He's
they're going
gonna
to
be a
use
captain.
they're going to use both of these two tight ends, consistently on the field with the 12-man personnel, but it's going to be a hybrid 12-man personnel where Colston Loveland can be basically just a big-ass wide receiver on the field,
100%.
and that they're going to find major mismatches. The defense is going to have this is the point I want to make. You're going to put the defense in a spot where they got to decide, do we go big and try to match up with the size that is on the field if they do run the ball, or do we go light and we try to cover these guys? And either way, they're going to find a mismatch. This is what excites me the most about this Bears offense. Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland together on the field are going to create mismatches basically no matter what the defense decides to do, and that is going to be a huge advantage for Ben Johnson.
When it
you
comes
guys-
to
I-
those
when
two guys, go
Love?
ahead.
Sorry, what?
No, I was going to say, when it comes to those two guys, I said this many a times when the media, or there was not the media, but certain people saying that he was going to be here. I saw it on Twitter. I saw it on Facebook. Komet's gone. He got Loveland. These guys do completely different things, man. And they're both going to have beneficial roles. And it is in this offense, on this team. Cole Kmet is a locker room leader, something that Colston's going to have to earn over the next couple of years. But this guy commands that locker room. He is such he'll be great underneath.
He's a captain.
In
He's
zone
a captain.
coverages. Yes. Loveland, as you said, he can be in the slot. You can let him out. You can line him out wide. He's not going to be the same kind of blocker. Maybe a lead blocker on a screen pass or something.
I mean, he's a better blocker than he's getting credit for. I think.
Well, what I'm saying is, like we saw Cole Kmet open up that hole on the 10-yard run for a 10-yard rushing touchdown.
Really good blocking too. Really good.
You're not going to get that out of Colston Loveland because Kyle and I saw it. They tried it, and Colston Loveland got ran over yesterday.
Well, there's also some examples of Colston being out there doing it. I think his skill set's completely different than Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet's going to do a lot of the grunt work. He's going to block a lot. He's going to chip on the tackle or on the defensive ends a lot. He's going to do a lot of grunt work. And Colston Loveland is going to get a lot of the flashy. He's going to be the flashy tight end. He's going to be a route runner who plays the slot. And I've said it 3 times on the show today. Every time they talk about somebody being good at training camp, it's the guy who was in the slot. So, I mean, if Colston Loveland gets that slot consistently and he's going to play in this scheme under Ben Johnson, yeah, he's going to have bigger numbers than Cole Kmet. But
you're going to have a linebacker on him? Are you going to have a linebacker on Colston Loveland? Are you going to have a quarterback on Colston Loveland? Because that's a mismatch too. You got to have a really good safety, like a Derwin James. Like you got to have that big
Brian Branch.
Yeah, you need that side. Well, but even Brian Branch, Colston Loveland's going to go up over him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to have the size and the speed to keep up with Colston Loveland. I think it's going to create a lot of mismatches, man. I think Colston Loveland's going to be used completely different than Cole Kmet, but both of them on the field is going to present advantages for this offense in a big way.
You know, one of my favorite things that's been said all offseason by any Bears player or coach in any presser. Did you guys listen to Case Keenum's presser?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Dude, when he's talking about Colston Loveland and he's like, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's very smart. He's obviously a very elaborate route runner. He's way ahead of the pack in route running in terms of the rookies. But when the last thing he said when he was talking about asked about Colston Loveland is he said he knows when to get open. That to me was one of the most important things about it.
Travis Kelce knows when to get open.
It's about your timing. Yeah. When it comes to tight end in the slot and being the security blanket for the quarterback, it's all about timing. Like, yeah, you can get open in the first second, but he's not looking downfield the first second. Colston Loveland looks like a veteran when it comes to when to get open. Like he's standing next to his defender and he's breaking away from him right when he knows Caleb's eyes are going to the second read. That's when he breaks away. And
the timing is really important. Yeah.
Listen, they're both
Case
really
Keenum
good.
also said,
I hope they're both amazing. I hope Colston Loveland's the best tight end ever to play football.
Case Keenum in his interview talked about how he's been in a lot of different offenses and he's seen like all of it, but he said Ben Johnson's it's like a greatest hits album of all those offenses. Like Ben Johnson is putting together, he's throwing a lot at these guys and he's putting together what I think is going to be a very dangerous offense. And I guess my biggest point with this conversation and what you were just saying, Kyle, was that these 2 tight ends, both of them are going to be very crucial to that offense, creating the mismatches that we're talking
in totally
about.
different ways. Like,
and
do a lot of shit that goes unnoticed, but it's still very important to this team and the success of this team. You know who's going to be an absolute beast by the time. I don't give a shit. Real quick, Brennan. I don't care when. I'm saying it's week 1, but Sean, you know it just by watching yesterday, and we've all said it, so this is not breaking news. But man, Luther Burden is just not coverable. He's not coverable. You cannot cover him.
Well,
once he earns his reps, it's done.
It's gadgety.
Like the fifth time I've been told to hold on a second, then somebody says what I want to talk. I think because Melon Smasher's actually putting some positive comments in here.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about what Melon said.
He liked DJ Moore and he likes Cole Kmet a lot, and that's awesome, man. Because I think everybody here can agree they're both good players.
And Ben's going to rely on them heavily.
And I don't think, listen, guys, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, that was a good offense last season. They just didn't have people who knew how to run it, and that's not Caleb's
or an offensive line to protect.
But what's exciting when it comes to Colston Loveland and Luther Burden is that Ben Johnson, these guys bring a new element to an offense that's already been here. And listen, I think if you're going to scheme, you want to structure plays like Ben Johnson does, and you want Caleb to focus on reads. And guys, the reality is when you watch like JT O'Sullivan do the QB school stuff, the play is always supposed to go to the lead read. Read number 1 is supposed to be the guy who gets the ball. It's not always going to work out that way, but that is how it's supposed to happen. If I'm Ben Johnson and I have Luther Burdens and Colston Lovelands in my disposal, I'm scheming those guys open as much as fucking possible. More so than the Cole Kmets.
And that's going to be a lead. That's going to be your lead read. Yep.
Because those guys, I think, have the ability to create after the catch. And Dustin and me had talked about this on Thursday's show. Caleb Williams might lead the league this year in yards after reception. Caleb Williams could get the bulk of his yards this season off a yak Because
That's if
these
Caleb
guys
does what I
on
said
this
earlier.
football team are all capable of making plays after they
Well,
catch
DJ
the
Moore
ball.
is one of the best
And
in the
that's
league. He
going
was
to be.
ranked 6th in the NFL yards.
I know. And
And
DJ Moore,
who made
Luther
a career
Burden,
of
Rome
that?
Odunze, Colston Loveland.
You know who made a career of that, Brandon? Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get the ball out
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Get the ball out quick.
Yeah, Sean, most successful offenses.
They get mad. We feel like we had everybody covered, and he slips the ball to the running back or this tight end. We didn't even know was standing at the end of the
DeAndre
line.
Swift is going to be there all
Take
year,
what the
guys.
defense gives you,
DeAndre
man.
Swift might have 1,500 yards.
DeAndre Swift is going to be
I'm
there
telling
all
you guys
He's
right
going to
now.
have the season this year that I expected him to have last year, guys.
If he
that's
stays
what's coming.
healthy, there's
He
a
looks really
very
good in Ben Johnson's
pushes for
offense.
15.
He did when he was in
I
Detroit.
wanted to say this comment from Mellon because it's the first thing that we've agreed on all night that he's thrown out here. So he says expect DJ in the slot like St. Brown was for Ben Johnson in Detroit, right? DJ's 6 most catches in the NFL the last 2 seasons. I think, I mean, me and Sean have both said this consistently since Ben Johnson came here. DJ Moore really perfectly fits that Amon-Ra St. Brown role in this offense. Now, Ben Johnson has gone out of his way to say this is not going to be the Detroit offense. So I hate to make the comparison, but DJ Moore is the guy best suited to play a role like that in your offense, 100%. Like Deebo Samuel played in San Francisco, like Amon-Ra St. Brown has played in Detroit for Ben Johnson. I think he's going to be unlocked. I think a lot of players are going to be unlocked this year, but DJ Moore seems to be the most suited for that role, Mellon. I agree with you 100%, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But I also do think they're going to move people in and out of that slot to find mismatches as well.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, by the time it's all said and done in a perfect world, I think that once these guys have all caught up to the NFL speed and Luther Burden knows the playbook, you'd probably rather have Rome Odunze and DJ Moore on the outside and Luther Burden there in the slot. But yeah, early and often when these guys are still learning the playbook, and you can tell guys, that that Luther Burden and Colston Loveland are a little bit behind. That's why Luther Burden was playing with the second team. He just didn't know the playbook. But I think in a perfect world, he's your slot. Those 2 guys on the outside, and that's tough to defend. And then you bring Colston Loveland in, and you can move him out to the slot on the other side. That's some scary shit.
And DJ Moore has done the majority of his damage in his career inside the numbers. I mean, that is just it's something that DJ Moore's done prior to Ben Johnson being his play caller. He is at his best inside the numbers. All those big catches to put the Bears inside field goal range to lose the games anyways. But regardless, when it came to him getting open and making the play to get past that green line you see on the field, it always came inside the numbers.
Well, and DJ was told not to do that.
He exposes those soft zones. He's not an outside the numbers guy to me, man. Rome Odunze can be. I don't see DJ Moore that way.
On the Burden thing you were talking about, Kyle, I've been saying all offseason since the Bears drafted him, it's going to be a slog for him to get opportunity. This receiver room is really good, especially after they signed Zacchaeus, right? So, like, he's going to have to earn reps. Once he gets them, it's going to be hard for them to deny that this guy needs to be on the field as much as possible. At that point, are you moving DJ Moore to the outside? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, Luther Burden is going to be your slot guy 100%. If he's but like, again, guys are going to move all around in this offense. I really believe that. DJ Moore in the backfield and Burden and the Odunze are your receivers, and you got 2 tight ends out there. However they decide, I think Ben Johnson's going to get very creative. I'm very intrigued to see what Luther Burden does, but I think it's just going to take some time for him to earn his reps, man. Because like you said, he's behind. He was not here practicing while these other guys were because of the injury. So it's going to take some time, but once he earns it, man, we're going to see fireworks here in Chicago. I really believe that about halfway through this season.
Yeah, I don't know about the line. We have to wait till see what they do as a unit and when they've built some cohesiveness and they get used to each other, guys. But I can tell you this for a fact. I've been a Bears fan since shortly after I was born in '88, and this is the best offensive in terms of weapons I've ever seen for the Chicago Bears. I mean, just watching that Family Fest practice yesterday. Some of these guys are not coverable.
That don't give you that gave me flashbacks to last offseason. We said the same thing.
I can still make an argument that last season was the best offensive weapon.
It was, but the results weren't there because the offensive line.
Yes and no. I mean, Caleb Williams threw the 4th most single season passing yards in the history of the Chicago Bears. I mean, it's not like it was it was a disaster in terms of wins and losses. It was a disaster in terms of his development. But if you look at the numbers, just the numbers of Caleb Williams and his receivers, the numbers weren't that bad. Like, they're not that bad. Like, DJ Moore is just under 1,000 yards. Keenan Allen was just over 800, and he missed a couple games. Rome Odunze was over 700 as a rookie coming into the NFL, trying to learn the new system, trying to learn the NFL in general.
Impact. Have anybody ever seen Impact?
let's get to him. I wanted to ask you guys this question first. Ben will be judged by wins and losses, anthropology says, which is why he will bench Caleb. Caleb is a loser. So I just wanted to throw some logic at that, Kyle or Sean, please, in terms of that statement and why that is completely
Not
false.
this year. Not this year.
Yeah, not
I
this
think-
season.
I think
You
Ben
think
Johnson stands a greater chance of being fired if he benches Caleb Williams
This season?
than if Caleb Williams
Yeah.
fails.
Here,
I
I'll just
agree- I
say
agree with
this.
that statement
I just say
wholeheartedly.
this.
Or if they even win 5 games this year,
I'm not going to answer any questions about Caleb Williams being benched because it's just dumb. It's just dumb. It's not going to happen.
GMs don't let their number 1 overall pick.
Yeah,
get
it's
benched
not
in
going
their
to happen.
second
So
season.
it's not even worth talking about.
And
Ryan Poles
the
wouldn't
bigger
even
point here,
entertain
the bigger point here is that Ben Johnson is not being judged on wins and losses this year. I mean,
Not this year.
the NFL is about wins and losses, 100%. You got to get it fixed. This is his first season with the first time he's had this quarterback. A lot of new pieces. There's no way he's being judged. But if they win 6 games this season, guys, Ben Johnson ain't being judged on that. Now you got next year, and we better see progression. After we just saw Matt Eberflus get the opportunities he got, fuck off.
Thanks for
Impact
joining the
says-
show. Impact
Impact
appreciate
says
you.
I'm new here. Impact, we appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Throw something in the chat if there's something you want to talk about. And that's for you, brother. Round of applause, as you are owed.
I think
being
first
here
of all,
tonight.
we're all
Hit
we're
that
all just-
subscribe, Impact.
we're all just football fans on a podcast here, right? And we know how challenging this schedule is going to be for this Bears team. You think that Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren aren't thinking about that same thing? Like, man, we're implementing a new offense with a second-year quarterback in a season in which we have the hardest schedule by percentages, by numbers
In the NFL.
NFL.
If Ben Johnson doesn't win 10
entire
games, he's out of here.
Yeah, like there's no chance in hell he's getting fired for whatever happens this season. I don't care if he went 1-16, he's not getting fired. He's not.
And then he says, hold on,
check him out.
Anthropology says,
and they
Ben-
just matched up Pole's contract with him.
Yeah,
Anthro says Ben don't want progression. Ben wants wins. Well, the reality
The progression leads to the
yes.
wins.
The reality is, if progression
hand
is
in
a
hand.
slow process, it will eventually lead to wins. And let me remind you, man, Ben Johnson just came from probably one of the greatest examples I've ever seen in the current NFL, more recent NFL, of sticking with your guns on a head coaching hire. Dan Campbell gave a speech that frightened the NFL world. People thought this guy was a nut job. I told Dustin within the year he's going to be gone because the lines
he
will
looked
still
like
suck.
ridiculous. He looked ridiculous. Yeah,
he had a bad record. He had a losing record, and look at him now. So Ben Johnson is not going to be terminated if he has a losing season this year, guys.
And Ben Johnson
Matt Eberflus got 2 losing seasons and then was told he's going to be retained.
for
That's not
another
how
losing
the story.
season. Yeah. And Ben Johnson didn't even talk about biting kneecaps, Brandon. And
Yeah, no.
Impact says Clinton, Illinois, diehard Bears fan. I bleed it. Well, then you're in the right place, bro, because we are here for diehard fans, whether they
We bleed
like
it too,
Caleb
man.
or
We bleed
don't.
it too.
Yeah,
Here,
we do.
I just wanted to
100%.
say this on the
Hell
Luther,
yeah, buddy.
on the Luther Burden thing, and I've said what Dustin said before. Once this guy gets on the field, if people don't know about him, you didn't watch him in college. I try not to watch any of that school that he went to either, but I did watch his highlights. I have watched him play in college. He was special there. And when you watch college, you just tell the players that jump off the screen.
The eye test,
He
yeah.
jumped off.
We all got it.
He kind of reminds me of the PC of the Bears. Like he's going to be the most marketable Bear. He's going to be
Sean,
loud.
let me
Like
ask you.
those green shoes
He made
yesterday?
SEC players look like they didn't belong on the field with him. He
Sean,
made
yeah,
SEC
did you guys-
quarterbacks look like they could not.
Hey, did you
hang.
guys bring a green dildo with you
I
for family?
did take a picture of his green shoes. I did.
Hey, real quick, Sean, I want to ask you because I think you'll answer this probably the most honestly, although all of you guys would.
Yeah, no, I'll lie.
The explanation you're giving of Luther Burden, which I love hearing, man, but that your eye test, I guess he passed your eye test, right? Did Colston Loveland? I mean, was he different? Because I'm reading the guy is different. When you see him on the field, it's just different.
He didn't
It's
stand
actually
out
the
like
article.
that in college.
It's actually the article that's on
I
my
was gonna
computer
say-
right now.
I'll be
There's
honest.
new rookie is just different.
When I watched Michigan,
He did not
Colston
stand out.
Loveland didn't jump off the screen.
No,
No,
he
because
did
they
not.
were
No.
He
I
was
don't mean
slow to
no.
run
And I know you were talking about Luther Burden, but I thought you were also relating to what you saw yesterday on the field. That's more what I'm asking you guys. When you see a person in person, it's different. It's
damn it.
Was Colson Loveland different
All right, we gotta.
as described? Like, was he the real deal? Does this guy look different? Does he look like a Travis Kelce, a George? Is he moving that way? Is he dominating the?
I thought he was really
the
smooth.
defense?
I thought he looked really smooth in his routes for sure. I didn't, and again, I'm not knocking the kid. I didn't like the drops. You know, the ball hit him in the hand 2 times in the end zone, and he dropped it both times. I mean, square in the hands. There was one of them was a bullet from Caleb Williams, and it wasn't traffic. He was the tallest guy in the middle. You remember that, Kyle? He was the tallest guy in the end zone. I mean, he had it like this, and he dropped it. And you know,
He also came down with 2 as well.
well, the thing is, those are the things that make me upset, because if I wasn't at that practice yesterday, I would have never heard of those things, because they don't talk about the negatives. You only see the positives. There are some negatives
Unless
to
it's
it.
Caleb
The
Williams.
Bears,
Unless it's Caleb Williams, correct? Yes, that's
Unless
what I
it's
was
Caleb
thinking
Williams.
as well, Kyle.
the
Well,
Bears,
well,
the
and, you know,
Bears, the Bears media preaches the positives. The mainstream media, everything is fucking negative. Everything
Here,
from Bears
Well, you
camp
guys
is bad.
talk about
Again,
separate
Ben
skill sets.
Johnson's
You
in
guys,
over his head.
Colson
Caleb can't
Loveland,
play.
There's a chance Colson Loveland has as many drop passes in this training camp as Cole Kmet had all last year. I mean, they're different skill sets.
And
Nobody
I am
ever
not-
said he has the best
I know
hands in
what-
football. That was never
and I
part
know
of his
what-
draft profile.
I guess I don't know, man. Kyle, like, you understand what I'm saying? My question is, when you're watching him, when you see him, when he walked out on the field,
different.
is
He's
this
different.
dude different?
he's
He's built different,
He's
right?
the best route runner on the Bears. Not a question about it. He is the best route runner on the Chicago Bears.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
He is.
Better than
Oh,
Roma Dunze? I don't
Yeah,
I
know.
was just going to say, I don't know about that.
He's going to be. He's going to be the best route.
He's
He's
a
going to make
listen.
a career out of route running.
That
That's what he's going
route
to do.
that he ran to catch that touchdown on the 3rd attempt that they made on that was fucking beautiful. He sold it perfectly.
He might end up in the
cut
best
it
route runner in NFL conversation, guys. He was the 3rd best route runner in the draft by all experts' accounts. It was
He's damn good at it. He's well ahead.
Loveland.
And when you were talking about Colston Loveland earlier and what Case Keenum was saying about him, it made me think about what Ben Johnson said about him. And I think this is worth just repeating again. I've said it before. He talks glowingly of Colston Loveland, you know, and we saw him like playing catch with Ben Johnson and his kids. Like he's like a part of Ben Johnson's family at this point. But he talks glowingly of him and saying like, this guy doesn't just think about his position when it comes to the playbook. He knows every position, what everyone's doing. He looks at the game like a quarterback. When you hear that about a rookie tight end who had missed some time with injury, being that in depth into the playbook already, that says very good things to me. That's
He's also an all-American boy farmer type guy. He's worker. He workhorse. He's puts
work ethic and
he
intelligence. And
he should be good.
Those are not going to be things that impact him in a negative way.
He has the path to success. He's just got to walk in. I think he's capable of doing it. You guys, Notorious says, "Have we seen a jump from Booker in camp yet?" Booker's having a sneaky good camp. He's not like
He
never
yesterday too.
Yeah, he's never the first guy talked about when you read all the articles coming out of camp or all the tweets, but Sean and I saw him make plays yesterday. He had a sack yesterday. He would have absolutely destroyed Tyson Bagent if it was a real game. He also has had a couple other days where they said he had a couple of stats. They said
either way.
They said he got the best. They said he got the best Ozzie Trapilo. Like what was that, Sean? Last Wednesday, Tuesday. But yeah, I mean he's definitely getting better for sure. I don't know what to expect out of Booker.
I expect Austin Booker.
I'd be happy with 6 sacks.
I expect Austin Booker to be the X factor of this defensive pass rush. That's what I expect. I expect Austin Booker to take major strides this year. No, Dio is going to be like the unsung hero of this defensive line. I think he's being slept on very hard by a lot of Bears fans when we're talking about the improvements that were made to this defensive line or the lack thereof. But Austin Booker, just in terms of his progression this year, I think he's a physical freak, and I expect that 6 to 8 sack range from him as well. And when you add that tally to just the 45 that they got last year or whatever it was, like that puts you kind of over the top. That's like the tipping point.
Do you guys remember Austin Booker's preseason last year? He had like 6 sacks in 5 plays. It's impossible. He was amazing. He was one of the best preseason.
He will be that pass rush specialist guy that they put out there to just pin his ears back and go after the quarterback. And I think it's going to be successful for him. I would love to see him in like that Mark Anderson role where he just comes out to go after the quarterback and he's part of that rotation in that way. And he just go sack the quarterback, dude. Just let him focus on one thing.
Well, and there was a speculative piece written. It's one of the major writers from Chicago. It wasn't Brad Biggs. I can't remember who it was that was writing that because of what you just said, Dustin, is Austin Booker even going to have a place on this defense, and will he likely not be on the Bears roster after the season? Because Dennis Allen loves guys who can play anywhere. And I just don't think Booker is not a guy who can move. I mean, he's outside or nothing. And I think he could actually stand up. I don't even think the guy needs his hand in
Well,
the
he
dirt.
could
to
play
be
like an
honest.
outside linebacker type,
Yeah, and like a hybrid defense,
like a
type of thing,
Parsons type of
yeah.
guy, where he doesn't have to. He can stand up. He doesn't have to. He
The
could be on the
emphasis
field
in the
numerous
article was,
times,
was
but
about his
yeah,
inability
I mean,
to
he
play
doesn't
anywhere
fit
else.
Dennis Allen's prototypical size. That's why.
No, but that's got to be a focus of his this whole offseason in terms of building muscle and building strength, and obviously this whole season he's going to be focusing on being as versatile as he can within this
all right,
defense.
guys. Real quick, sorry. This is a good way to end the show because this JP Richardson guy, and I'm the one who said 2 weeks ago on the show or last week that I'm like, hey guys, we've heard of the Tanner Gentrys, and I'm telling you guys, this kid's legit. I mean, he is absolutely 100% legit. I understand he's
burn.
playing. I
Talk
understand he's
about a
playing
good route
second,
runner.
he's playing second stringers, but this guy just is always open. He always finds himself open
I
constantly.
think there's
all
a
the
good
time.
chance that neither one of those guys makes the roster, unfortunately.
I think
I
one of
mean-
them will make the practice squad at least. for
Yeah,
sure.
I think both.
Here, I'll tell you this: as Miles Boykin stays hurt and not playing, that only helps JP Richardson as long as he stays healthy and keeps making plays. Because you want to ask about people who jumped off the screen yesterday.
I was hoping someone would say
did.
JP Richardson
He
when I
did.
asked that question.
He did.
Yeah.
He
Well,
just
he
doesn't
had
get that
that.
much.
He had that big one
chance.
that he just burned everybody on, man. I mean, the kid can.
He had a
run,
couple of
dude.
other plays too down and around. They
His
looked for him
40
in the
time.
red zone.
His 40 time is not at all reflective of what
It's
that kid can
450.
do.
It's a 4.55. It's the same as David.
I know, which is tremendously unrealistic for some reason, man. I don't know. That kid can.
He looks
burn.
faster than that. I can tell you.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
much.
that's what I mean. That kid
I
can
think
fucking
they're
burn.
both practice squad guys at best. Honestly, I don't think with the depth at the receiver position that the Bears have right
This
now,
is a tough roster to make as a receiver.
I don't think either one of them are.
Why would
making-
Scott make the practice squad?
This is one of the
But
best
like I
receiving
said,
players in
if
football.
Boykin stays hurt and doesn't learn the playbook, he could be cut, and
Well,
Richardson can make the squad.
Why would
Well,
you
I don't
keep
think Boykin
Scott?
makes the roster either, though. Even if he's healthy, man. Like I don't.
They
I don't
brought him
see
in
it.
as a special teamer, no?
No, Duvernay.
Well, I know Duvernay,
yeah, but Duvernay is the guy that they.
Duvernay
That's your
actually had
fifth.
a punt return for a touchdown in practice.
Yeah, and
did.
he's going to be a damn
We're
good
getting-
player addition.
We're
to this
getting
team.
we're getting pretty off base here, but listen, when it comes to like Miles Boykin is 6'4" and runs a 4.38 or something like that.
and has like 8 career catches.
I mean,
So,
if there was like a
what are we
guy,
talking about
if there
here?
was a guy that I'd practice squad for, like, man, if Antoine Randall could just get something out of that kid, his size and speed,
Yeah,
like the dude
he
is
can go get
tremendous.
Antoine
athlete.
Randall L a Diet Coke.
I might
Listen,
want
man,
to.
I'm
I
not
might
saying
think
I'm not
JP
saying JP Richardson 6'5" and can run a 4.3, but the guy is all heart and he loves football, and you could tell. And it shines on the field.
You know what,
He's
Wes?
making plays. That's all I can do.
He
is
stands
go
out.
there and
He
do
stands
training camp and
out
make
every
plays,
time he's
and
out
doing
there,
it.
and he looks like one of those guys that just finds a way to get open in the middle of the field. Like he just
And we
looks like
talked
that
about this.
prototypical guy.
We talked
yeah.
about this. We can get you can tell me all day that these guys are playing against twos or whatever you want to. If you want to make an NFL roster and you're on the bubble and you got a good squad in front of you of receivers, you do everything that this fucking guy is doing. That's
Yeah.
the only way. That's the
And
only way
he's
you
still
stand
not
a
gonna
chance.
make
And
the
and you
roster.
still might not. But all
I
you
don't
can
think
do,
he
man,
is. No.
is utilize your opportunities. And it seems like there's a few players on this Bears team that are doing that when they're given the chance.
I think he's a practice squad guy who maybe makes the roster next year after contributing, and they call him up
What's
in the
up,
middle of the
Dopsy?
season, something
That's
like
it.
Yeah,
that.
That's it,
or
Dusty.
you
That's what I
guys-
was just
yeah,
gonna say. An
or-
Amendola, Welker, Edelman type guy
Well, I mean,
that
those are
knows how to find the soft
more like
spot.
Braxton Berrios, right?
Hey,
Like,
let's just remember, all 3 of those guys went undrafted and were
Yeah,
really
they-
freaking good in the NFL.
And,
but you're
and they
just
were
picking
on
little
practice
white guy.
squads. They were on practice squads too. a
You're just
good
picking
portion of
small
them.
white guys, though, but they don't have to be legends.
Yeah. Wes Welker is a fucking
be
legend.
Real
Yeah.
Shakir is that guy, But I just think that if he's going to make this roster, somebody would have to be traded or cut or hurt badly. Because and even if you guys, if the Bears cut him to put him on the practice squad, he goes on waivers. So he
Yeah,
can
and,
be
then,
picked up
and
by
another
another
team can pick him up. I don't know that any team would, though. Honestly,
I don't know how
think-
much do other teams care about other people's training camps. I don't know. I don't know how much they pay attention.
Oh,
I don't know
they
how
got
much-
scouts paying attention for sure for that very reason.
know.
But I mean, what I would say is I don't know that he stood up. I don't know that he stood out enough to make this 53-man
Kyle, I
roster
think-
or to be picked up by another team to be on their 53-man.
Yeah,
Well, I
Dustin,
think-
5 years ago, probably. This year with DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Luther Burden.
Yeah, it's
tough.
too deep. It's
Yeah,
too
if it
No,
was
this-
Equanimous St. Brown and Byron
Pringles?
and N'Keal Harry, then I'd be like, this guy's making this roster.
Well, two things. I think the guys who get picked up off practice, signed off practice squads, are the guys that have good preseasons more so than camps. The guys that you see highlight plays of when you're watching ESPN at the end of a night when you don't want to watch preseason football. But what?
Sean, what's the score?
3-2.
Oh, is he talking about the
Runner
Cubs?
on
You
third,
fucker.
and Dansby Swanson's probably going to strike out.
But Kyle, I was going to say, with a team so loaded, that'll probably draw more attention to a guy like JP. Because when the Bears cut that guy, which they probably will,
for
a lot of teams are going to be thinking like, there's just some guys over there are pretty good. They just didn't stand.
You guys, like, if the Ravens cut a safety,
Bruce says 3-3 tie.
I'm checking that safety out.
I'm behind, so
I'm checking that safety out because
rest,
he has to
rest
compete.
easy, Sean.
He has to compete. He has to compete with
he's not getting that job.
Kyle Hamilton and Malachi Starks.
Swanson
it could be a good safety who just got cut off the Ravens. I agree with you 100%, Brandon. Like, if other teams might be like, well, the Bears have a really good receiving core. They just cut up a couple guys who looked really good in camp, so maybe you can take a flyer on them, especially teams with shitty receiving cores, right? We know there's teams are out there.
Yeah, if the Bears cut a tight end, I'd take a look at it. They like Joe Wilson. If Joe Wilson gets cut, who knows, man?
I personally think that if JP Richardson gets put on the practice squad by the Bears, he will still be there for the Bears when
he's fighting the odds. He's a small white guy who looks kind of like a running back as build wise as opposed to
Tom Waddle.
He's fighting the odds for sure, but it would be a cool story if JP Richardson sticks around.
You know what would be a cooler story? You know what would be a cooler story is if the Bears traded for Micah Parsons. That would be a cooler story.
Yeah, you guys. Erica says, watching Sean's reaction. You guys, I have to do this every Tuesday. Sean gets very animated when it comes to the sports. Man.
Let's.
Austin Reed.
I did an awesome segue there, and
Austin Reed did not take any snaps.
Is Parsons? Is there a realistic possibility that Mike Parsons is traded?
No, not at all. Not even close. I did the segue and set it up, but Micah Parsons is not being fucking traded.
Don't worry. Dansby Swanson didn't come through. Called overturned. That piece of shit fucking out. Motherfucker.
You guys, it's a negotiating tactic. It's That's what it is.
We just got canceled.
It's a negotiating tactic.
This is how this goes. Now, this feels way more personal, Kyle, than
it does.
It's Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons going at it. Jerry Jones tried to talk. No, where it gets weird is Jerry Jones, and he's done this before. He tries to do these backdoor deals with these players and not have their agents around, and he really is strong arming them. And what he's doing is he's trying to be a good old boy or whatever, but he's breaking the CBA when he's doing that. And that creates personal tension.
Jerry Jones never responds.
What he's doing.
He never responds to the players directly. He always does it through the media, which is a really bad look for him. And listen, Micah Parsons sounds dug in. Like, if there's any player,
for sure.
Like, I want the fuck out of here. It sounds like Micah Parsons.
And he does a podcast every week. So if he's holding out and just talking shit about the Cowboys every week, and Jerry Jones has got to do something. He's let players go, to where these holdouts.
Here's what I think. I think Jerry
you don't trade a guy that's one of the best 5 players in the
I understand,
league.
and that's why I think he's staying in Dallas, because I think Jerry Jones is just as concerned about his reputation as he is the Dallas Cowboys, and he's going to be like, if I let Micah Parsons leave here because of this stupid whatever guarantees, whatever they're talking about right now, and I don't know how far apart they are, but he's going to have the biggest pie in his face of any GM/owner, because we all know he's the GM in the NFL. He can't let Micah Parsons.
You would be fucked if you let.
This won't be the popular opinion.
You can't get back enough. You can't.
This will be a popular opinion, but I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to be bad. And if somebody threw some outrage, like 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds package at you, I mean, there's always something that can entice a team enough, especially if they're sick of a player. If Jerry Jones is just tired of Micah Parsons' attitude, which I don't know why he would be. The guy seems to have a pretty good attitude, but there might be something you could put on the table.
I don't think that there's anything that you can offer that's going to be enough for a guy that's like one of the top 5. To me, he's a top 5 player in the league. But
I don't know if Jerry Jones has that mentality.
He changes the game. I think Jerry, if he doesn't, then he needs to just stop trying to run a football team. The reality is guys like Micah Parsons don't get traded because you just can never get enough value back. And the thing with these contracts is you can push this money down the line. It's not like it has to hit your cap this year. So they have the money to do this. They're the fucking Dallas Cowboys. Stop posturing and just get it done. If you're Jerry Jones, like this should not have gotten to this point because Micah Parsons wants to be there.
And it's getting insulting because I don't know if you guys know this or not. I mean, they're a bunch of small contracts, but he's paying everybody else. I think they just extended one of their offensive linemen a couple days ago. They brought Jack Sanborn in. They paid George Pickens. They're taking that contract. I know
Extended
it's not a huge
Dak,
contract,
they extended CD.
But I mean, I mean, it's like they're just paying everybody except for I would have paid Micah
the
Parsons
most
before I
important
paid
guy
Dak
on
and
your
CD.
team.
I would have paid Micah first. You would have been the first. I wouldn't have paid that
That's
Dak.
what I
would've
said,
paid
Kyle.
Dak.
That's the guy who would have been most important.
If you had to pick one, I'm not paying Dak, and I'm hoping I can find a quarterback who's of that talent. And the Cowboys have been good at finding quarterbacks. I mean, Tony Romo wasn't an early draft pick. Dak Prescott wasn't an early draft pick. I mean, they've been good.
I'll say I don't expect the trade to happen, and if it does happen, I don't expect it to be to an NFC team. I'll say that for sure. If it does happen, it is because this is just so far beyond repair and so personal that there's no salvaging it, and Jerry Jones just bites the bullet. But that is just so out of this world to even think about because a player like Parsons like just comes around once a generation. Like you don't just move that guy. But if they do, I don't think it'll be to an NFC team. I really don't.
It's like Luka Doncic getting traded.
Yeah, Dallas would be
dumb.
The worst sports city in the history of the fucking world if they trade Luka Doncic and Micah Parsons in the same year, the same calendar year. Your city traded two of the best players in their respective leagues from your teams. Wow, that would be crazy.
In their respective generation.
Yeah, man, that's great.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance in hell he leaves Dallas.
It's fun to think about.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it changes, but I don't think there's a chance in hell.
I would not bet on a trade. It's fun to think about. It's fun to think about the Bears having him. Mike Sean says he would go all in for
Melon Smasher says Steelers.
Because I also think that teams are becoming more hesitant to trade first round draft picks because I think the value of the contract is so much better than anything else in your team. I think it's becoming tougher and tougher to pry first round picks away from people. I'm not saying that would be the case for Micah Parsons because obviously he's special. He's kind of God-given talent, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer type, generational type player. But I think you're going to these huge trades you've been seeing, like the Khalil Mack trade.
The Cowboys are not trading Micah Parsons to the Eagles. No fucking.
No, not in the division. Not their rivals. God, no
fucking way. No.
God, no.
Doesn't that look pretty though?
It does.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm against it.
It looks like Darnell Mooney hit the weight room.
Shoot myself.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just saying the odds are about slim to.
I would give up so much to get that kid.
I would give up a lot to get my.
Anthropology is
one of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
Yeah, Anthropology asks, "What are your top 10 excuses for Caleb sucking this season?" You're gonna have to tune in every week to hear those, Anthro. Okay, as the season goes on,
and you got to become
you make sure you're subscribed. Yeah, get the notifications.
So you
to hear our top 10 excuses for Caleb sucking in week 2, week 1. Yeah, we'll give them to you every week, Anthro.
The first excuse is because Anthropology wouldn't shut the. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate
lack of support from his fan base. That's excuse number 1.
Yeah, I blame it on you, Anthropology.
Yeah, he could have been Anthropology.
That's not going to get
work for you.
In fact, that's not going to get Micah Parsons. This is Chicago.
Oh, no fucking way.
It's not even close. No disrespect, because
these are all pipe dreams, guys.
I was going to say, is Erica pointed this out?
You have to have more than that.
Anthropology, is your picture Caleb Williams? Is that your profile?
It is.
That's the picture.
Guys, you also if you trade for Parsons, you're not just giving away draft capital. You have to extend him. That's why he's unhappy. He wants to be extended. So you got
that's a major.
You got to figure out where that salary is coming from too.
Hey, it's worth it.
What is it? $45 million. What do you think? $45 million a year?
It's the highest paid defensive end in football. So is that what that
43,
is?
43, then 43, right?
Yeah. So you're
because Watt just got 41.
Yeah. So you're in that 43 to 45 range when you pay Micah Parsons for sure. That's what it will be. And I think the Cowboys will be the ones that pay it.
Better player than TJ Watt.
He's worth the $43 million a year. He is, because I don't think he's the Khalil Mack situation where he's hurt the rest of his career and he doesn't play that much for you. I think he's going to be a star for the rest of his life.
He does more than just rush the pass. He's a quality football player, top to bottom.
Every year of his career,
at least 12 sacks every season. He's one of two players to do that. Who's the other player that's done that, Sean?
Reggie White.
I was going to just say Reggie White.
But he didn't. He doesn't just.
Brandon changed his name in the middle of this show.
But he doesn't just rush the pass either, man. I mean,
Dante,
the kid is
Dante, I
an
know you're just kidding when you
outstanding
say
football player.
He's a any scheme fit.
Yeah, the
He
scheme fits him.
He does everything.
He doesn't need to fit the scheme. The scheme will fit him.
The scheme has changed.
Why don't we just trade Dio in a trade for
He
Parsons?
plays linebacker fairly well, man.
Isn't there left tackle?
The kid is a good football
Braxton
player.
Jones and Dio.
Yeah, you guys are like, let's just give this
and
guy,
Austin
these
Booker,
guys, let's give these
Montez
guys the
Sweat.
scraps of the Bears, the second and third strings on the Bears, and see if they give us Parsons back. First of all, Sweat.
As long as we get Jack Sanborn back,
with a couple traps.
You wouldn't trade
including a player. It has to be like Kyler Gordon. Guys,
you wouldn't trade
Jalen
Sweat.
Johnson.
You wouldn't trade Sweat because then you're just losing the other side.
You want Sweat in.
You want to bolster the line.
You'd have to include, like, if you're talking about including a player in that trade, it would have to be like Jalen Johnson or Luther Burden, Colston Loveland. It wouldn't be Austin
2
Booker.
first-round picks.
It'd be like that's not even throwing anything into the trade.
I said
we don't even know
2
what that guy is.
first-round picks, 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and Austin Booker. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not getting it done. Jerry
Because
Jones is hanging up on
the Bears traded 2 first-round picks, a third and a sixth for a second and a fifth, and Khalil Mack.
Yeah, no, and that's not happening. That's the starting point just to get a conversation going. I'm sorry, Sean.
No, he said 76 his first 4 years. Micah has like 55 or 52 or something like that.
Impact says, honestly, I wouldn't trade for Parsons because of what you just said. It will take more. You're giving up your future, gigantic cap space we currently don't have, and Caleb would have to be a must hit. Yeah, you got to know a lot of things about your team to add that piece to your defense. That's the piece that puts you over the top, right? Like that's the piece that makes you a Super Bowl contender. And we don't even know if we're a playoff team right now.
Yeah, Impact's 100% right, though, because they traded for Khalil Mack because they thought Trubisky was it. That's why they traded for Khalil Mack. The guy had 24 touchdowns.
Well, if we thought Trubisky was it, then Caleb Williams is definitely it.
Right? Yeah, listen, I'm not disagreeing.
I never thought Trubisky. I was very disappointed when
guys, Trubisky's rookie season was a rookie or second year. They won Coach of the Year and Executive of the Year. I mean, they thought this team was headed in the right direction. Yeah, it was the head of the right direction, right? But that's why they added Mack, because like we need that last piece, and we don't have to pay our quarterback for 3 years.
That could airmail everything, man.
The Parsons is going to be a lot more expensive than 5 years ago than Khalil Mack was.
I'll say we give up.
Contract's going to be astronomical.
We'll give up Karan Amagaji, Ryan Bates.
They could have Kyle Monangai. Kyle Monangai's been catching balls in practice.
And they need a running back.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
Yeah,
not gonna play here. So
yeah,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, and most likely not getting traded, guys. But definitely, I don't think to an NFC.
Oh yeah, Impact. I agree with you there. If Peyton Manning was your quarterback, you know he's winning a Super Bowl. Then go get your Micah Parsons. If the Bears believe Caleb Williams is that guy by the end of this year, go get your Micah Parsons. Go get him.
Phil missed this.
Fucking Phil.
Yeah, we're scrimmaging with the Dolphins on Friday.
Yes. They're doing a joint practice right this Friday. Week. Yeah. And Dante says Trapillo for Parsons straight up.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to catch that game later.
Yeah, we'll throw in Ben Johnson and take Schottenheimer.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, no, I'm not on that. Nope.
No, Calvin. Sunday is a preseason game.
Sunday is the actual game.
Is Friday.
Yeah,
Friday is the scrimmage between the
Dolphins. PCA just got hit on the elbow with a 98-mile-per-hour fastball and is bent over in pain.
Maybe he'll start hitting the ball.
I mean, in his defense, he got hit in the elbow.
Maybe he had it coming.
I mean, he's got a pad on.
Calvin C, thank you for checking in.
And that'll show you to strike out.
Crooked Commish just jumped in as well. Rocket Dream, Trey Shy jumped in a little late, man. We're happy y'all all got in here. Anything y'all want to talk about in the chat before we get out of here, please throw it out.
What's going on, guys? Thanks everybody for joining. Trey, what's going on?
Was there anything?
Dante, the man.
Was there anything else we wanted to get to, guys? Anything we didn't touch on in terms of this Bears anything that you guys didn't get to talk about from yesterday that you noticed, observations, shit like
No,
that?
like I said, guys, my takeaway, my synopsis would be that I think the kicker competition is real. I think the second corner competition is real. I think the left tackle competition is real. And I think the backup running back competition is real. But outside of that, I mean, everybody had their ups, everybody had their downs. This is a situation where everybody has to stay patient.
And you
2 weeks
think
in the
you
training
think the
camp.
linebackers
These guys are
looked
going
at
to
it?
get better and better and better and better every single preseason game, every single practice until the season starts. All we can hope for is that too many of these mistakes aren't carried into the season and the team gets better as the season goes on. And you're
What was
looking
your
at
question, Brandon?
2026.
I said, you think the linebackers decided? You think Sewell outright?
No.
I think so. I mean, I think so.
I was
mean,
going to ask you guys how
Dude,
Hippolyte
dude,
did.
Hippolyte didn't
pass
play.
the eye test.
He didn't
Yeah,
play.
That's what I mean. You said
If
you
he
said
was
that
out
pretty
there,
early.
I didn't notice him.
He didn't play, bro. He didn't even
That's-
touch the field, man.
that's
I mean,
not
you guys, they weren't in three linebackers. That's a lot. So not many of them touched the field, but I don't think
Trey,
Hippolyte
they
does.
didn't draft Adewale Agunleye when Melon Smasher said the last Pro Bowl defensive end they drafted was Richard Dent. Adewale Agunleye was traded for Marty Booker to the Dolphins for Adewale Agunleye.
I think Mark Anderson made a Pro Bowl, didn't he?
No, I don't think he
The
did.
year with 13 sacks, he didn't make a Pro Bowl.
Rookie, his
12,
rookie year.
I don't think he made the Pro Bowl. No,
I don't think
and
he
a half
made the
sacks.
Pro Bowl.
No. Muck the General. Have we seen this name before?
No, but I agree with him. All the negativity is unbelievable.
Fucking
I don't know if
hey,
he's talking about.
here's
I don't
some
know if he's talking about
positivity
the
for you,
Bears
Muck
chat. I
Muck.
don't know if he's talking about the Bears chat or
That's
John-
for you, buddy. Muck. Yeah, bring the positivity in. Yeah.
No, I guess Mark. There must have been a lot of good defense in the NFC that year. Mark
Impact
Anderson.
says Anderson had 13 sacks, no Pro Bowl.
He actually had 12 and a half.
That's what I said. I said 12, or I said 13 versus 12, and I said I know 12.
You want to know why I know
That's
he
what I
has? Because
said.
I have a Mark Anderson autographed jersey when I met him, and I had him sign rookie year, 12 and a half sacks. So
Yeah, I mean, did they draft Alex Brown?
Why do you have
they did
Randy
draft.
Jackson's signature?
Alex Brown never made a Pro Bowl.
I don't know if Alex Brown ever made a Pro Bowl.
For Sean's
I don't know,
mind.
but Alex Brown was my fucking.
He should have made a
dude.
Pro Bowl. There's no way Alex Brown didn't make a Pro Bowl.
Alex Brown was the man.
Get out of here.
Yeah, no,
It's
but he
insane.
did not make a Pro Bowl. And then we had one question here that I thought was interesting from Impact, since he's a new guy with us. When I answer his question, he says, I'm sure y'all touched on this, but if Trapillo wins the job, don't you think that's a win for you?
Yes.
I mean,
You guys, Alex Brown was selected to the Pro Bowl in 2006.
Yep.
hey,
I think that's a tough position as a rookie to. Braxton Jones did it, so there's a chance that a player could come in and be serviceable. I don't know that you're going to see the ceiling of Ozzie Trapillo if he starts as a rookie at the left tackle position.
you're definitely not. You're going to see the worst of
I
Ozzie
think
Trapillo this season.
I think that would eventually make, when he's ready to play his prime football,
Makes him
that
better.
would make him a much better player.
Yeah.
But you might, with a rookie out there, you might have some rough
You're gonna-
patches.
I
and that's,
You're going to deal with some
that's-
growing pains.
I
and
think
that's,
he can be
that's
as-
Caleb who suffers
Listen,
that, man.
I
Those
understand
growing
you guys-
pains.
I understand it's not a very high goal, but I think he could be as good as Braxton Jones was when he started his rookies. He started his rookie season.
Yeah, no,
Really
he can.
good.
I think he can be better potentially than Braxton Jones was.
Yeah.
He might be as good in his rookie season. Hopefully, he could be better than Braxton
Good as
Jones
Braxton
is
is right now.
right now, because the whole competition
God
is to
damn
decide
it!
who the best player is at left
Yeah.
tackle.
But
So,
I did say
think
this,
they're going to pick the
Dustin.
best guy. That's all I'll
But
say.
no, Dustin, I did say this. Listen, if you
All
think
right, Sean.
that Ozzie Trapillo has the
There's a boat
potential,
by Sean's house. dude.
if you think Ozzie Trapillo has the potential to be the best left tackle eventually, then I think you got to play him right away, man.
Yeah, you're just going to deal with the negatives.
Yeah,
in his-
because
in his rookie
This
season.
isn't the quarterback.
is.
He's not learning on the bench. If you think this guy has the most potential in the future, whether or not that means
I
Braxton,
agree. I
he might
agree.
not be better than Braxton Jones today. Braxton Jones might be
And,
a safer bet if you throw him out there. But if you think Trapillo is going to be your future left tackle, and you want Braxton
You
Jones
guys,
is on
even the
his way
cornerback
out.
position's getting that way. There's not much patience left anymore here in the NFL. I mean, but yeah, Bern, if his ceiling's the highest, then just go the first few weeks, 5-6 weeks, give him a lot of chips, a lot of running back help, a lot of tight end help.
And if you think there's
make
a
sure-
chance Braxton Jones might be your best left tackle, then you better see
I
it
give him
this
as
year,
much
because
experience
that
as I
guy's
can.
on his way out the fucking door. If you
Guys,
think
we're-
Braxton Jones, it can be better than he's been in his career and can solidify that left tackle spot, that guy's about to get paid. So you better make sure you're aware of that now. So if
What
you
I've
think,
been
go ahead.
What I've been saying this whole time is that regardless of who Ben Johnson picks to be the starting left tackle, it is going to be a concerning position all year. If
But
it's
also
Ozzie,
going to be the best player on the roster. At the
yeah,
left.
it will be the best player, but I don't know if that guy is good enough still.
Yeah.
Ozzie might be good enough in the future, but in his rookie season,
Yeah.
you are going to see failures. You are going.
I agree with you, and you guys know where I stand.
Caleb Williams, like you said, Brandon, is going to be the guy that takes the brunt of that. So
of all the help they
it's
gave
going to be a
Caleb,
concerning position all year, the left tackle position, guys.
of all the help they gave Caleb this offseason, the one I really wanted first and foremost was center and left tackle. And unfortunately, we still are sitting here having these same questions. But
the draft didn't have it, Kyle. The draft didn't have that guy in that spot at the 10th.
Well, and you could have gone free agency. I mean, there's a
that was
Crooked
traded for Lermy Tunsil.
Crooked asked us a question, guys.
Had Josh Simmons, who by all accounts from Chiefs camp is absolutely dominating it.
But Josh Simmons was a reach at 10. Look at where he went. Look at what pick he went.
He was a top 5 pick before he
would have had to trade up for Josh Simmons.
Come back and wind up holding that value as an anchor on the left side of that football team for a long time.
You would have traded your second round pick to get him.
The Bears could have traded back. They could have traded back because a lot of teams were calling about Colston Loveland. Apparently, that's what I was told.
Hold on, Crooked Commish just had a question up there.
Look at how bad Ben Johnson wanted Colston Loveland, doesn't it?
Hold on, guys. Crooked Commish asked us a question. I'd like to answer because it's actually an interesting conversation. What player are you interested most to see in how they play this Sunday? Now we don't know who's going to play this Sunday, but he like JP Richardson, the guy we just talked about, the kid, right? Who do you guys want to see playing Sunday in preseason week 1?
Luther Bird, because he's still part of the second unit, so he's going to get a lot of playing time.
I want to see Luther and it's Colston Loveland. It's Luther and it's Colston Loveland. It's both of those guys. You want to see them get as much opportunity as you
Ozzie
can.
Trapilo too.
Making ability. That's going to be where my eyes are the most. At that
and
left
you know
tackle.
what? And you know what? Crooked Commish, a guy that I would have said had he not otherwise been injured, is Turner. Shamar Turner is the guy I would have kept my eyes. I would have seen, and he says rookies, yeah. But Dio too.
Listen, Austin Booker is a guy I'm going to be watching very closely.
There's a lot of players in week 1.
Yes,
I want.
But to see. Crooked, the guy we all want to watch the most, who's not going to play on Sunday,
might play 4 snaps.
Is Caleb Williams, and I'll actually be at that game. Crooked,
Caleb should be playing in this game.
I'll let you know who looks the best.
But he should
from
be.
The field.
No, I agree with you, Sean. He needs the reps within this offense in a live action scenario. 100%. 100%. We also got to trust the way Ben Johnson. We also got to trust the way Ben Johnson is rolling this thing up and the way he's deciding it. But that is a fair statement to make. Like Caleb needs those reps.
Impact answers the question. Preseason, I'm in the depth. Major Burns,
safety out of LSU.
Well, he says Major Burns, PJ, and Oregon safety Johnson. Yeah, all 3 of them. But
Major Burns,
you guys,
being undrafted.
I agree with.
He's an exciting undrafted.
Dennis Allen said it best. You don't pick a player; you let the tape pick a player for you, and that's what when you're watching. When they're watching these practices, they're watching these preseasons. They're going to make the best players the starters. I know that for a fact. I don't know if the best players are capable of being starters.
Are going to be good enough. Yes, that's the question.
The best players are going to be.
That's the question we beat up on the bare minimum.
If they think it's Noah Sewell over Ruben Hippolyte, then it's Noah Sewell, and Ruben Hippolyte was a huge miss. Unless they're just developing.
Yeah, listen.
I don't know.
We know that was a huge reach. Obviously, Dennis Allen saw something in Hippolyte that he thought he could utilize with his skill sets. But I mean, I think that's a slow cook. We're going to slow cook that one.
Yeah, it might be a very long.
That's not a hot one.
And he's not young.
Smoke it at 120 degrees cook. Dopsy Burden. I don't think Burden has earned that reputation, right?
Yeah, the Burden hate is still out there, man. The people's that
Kevin
want to
White,
look for something wrong with Burden every step of the way, guys. Burden is gonna be fine. He's gonna be better than fine. He's gonna be a fucking stud for this team. You just watch.
He might get a case. He might get a case of restitis. We'll see. No, he's going to play a lot in that football game.
Sean, did Kyle Tucker strike out?
Nice one, Brandon.
Nice.
Actually,
it played well.
No, it was a line drive to second base. PCA was caught off and doubled off to end the inning. Kyle Tucker lead off.
No, it wouldn't be doubled off to end the inning. There was 2 outs when Kyle Tucker was up. Nobody got doubled off to end the inning.
But I don't know.
Kyle Tucker was up.
I don't know what he did.
I heard Burden is a dog. That's what Ben Johnson believes. That's what Antoine Randall L believes.
You heard right.
His coach at Missouri, that he's a dog. He's got the dog.
Yeah, but when I think of Crooked Commish saying that, when I think of him saying,
that's sarcasm.
I think of the picture on his emoji. On his YouTube.
Yeah, I got you. He's making a joke.
Soft tissue injury.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anything else
Well,
before we get out of here, Sean?
Yeah, one quick thing. Wanted to give a big shout out to Windy City End Zone and Shane Taub for hooking that up yesterday. He sent me another ticket, so I'm gonna go check
Thanks,
out the
Shane.
Bears on the 14th of August. Apparently, I'm going with him, so that'll be fun to
Nice.
hang out with him for the afternoon. And just wanted to say, Kyle and I had a great time. It was awesome. Seats were fantastic. And it was a great experience. And I actually really like doing that opposed to going to camp. It was a lot more comfortable and a lot easier. Well, I guess we just say easier to get to. We did spend 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, you just got to do the shuttle with the training camp, like that. Yeah, all you got to do, you just got to let somebody else drive for training camp. It's in Lake Forest. It's obviously a lot harder to get to Soldier Field in terms of traffic, for sure.
Well, I forgot the Cubs were playing. Lollapalooza was going on. I forgot about all of that. And Kyle, those fences are coming down along the lakefront. They were put up for Lolla. They were talking about it on the score today.
I'll tell you what, man.
At
least if you're gonna get stuck in the car for 3 hours, you got a bunch of Lollapalooza chicks walking by.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that's what other guys are saying, right, Kyle? And not you.
I mean,
You're
dude,
not
we turned off of Michigan and had.
you heard other guys in the car next to you saying that.
They're like, look at that purse.
Dobbsy, he says, I'm really just not a fan of guaranteed contracts when you haven't proven anything yet. This is the way the NFL is going. These guys are going to fight for these guaranteed contracts, and they should. This is
this is going to get.
You can't hold that against the player. This is a trend that is happening, and I'm glad the Bears locked up Burden and took care of him, guaranteed all of his contract. It'll be well worth it. And just watch again. That'll be a steal of a deal.
They just showed this replay. The reason why Swanson was called out is because he stepped over first base instead of stepping on it, or it's a tie fucking game.
He dragged his foot across the top of it instead of just
Step
hitting the front
on
of the bag.
Fucking base.
He didn't hit the front of the bag. Hey, listen, Sean. I've been saying Dansby Swanson ain't worth his money since the day he got here. You know that. He's
Jesus
not worth
fucking Christ.
170,
One thing, hey, real quick, Anthro says Caleb don't love football. Caleb loves magazine covers. Hey, we did an entire show about this, man. Go back and watch it, Anthro. I thought, was he not there?
No, he was not there.
Awesome
He's never
show.
checked in on the bare minimum.
Dustin kind of broke down Caleb's offseason. We compared it to some of the great players in the history of this sport and how it doesn't add up. Doesn't line up, I should say. So go watch that. Check it out, man.
Right,
yeah, man.
We agree with that one.
And Trey, I just I put it in the chat, but you just remember it comes at a 6.5 game lead in the division. They lose today, they'll be 3 games out of the division. They also had a 7-game lead in the wild card. Padres are currently down 2-0, but that lead also dwindling down to a couple of games. The Cubs are not even close to being a guaranteed playoff team because they can't hit the fucking baseball.
No, and
we got a Cardinals fan.
Impact's got a message for you.
Yeah.
Says I'm a diehard Bears fan, but maybe you should root for Cardinals in baseball.
I'd rather shoot myself in the face than ever root
and
for
live
from the state of Missouri. That is a
I'd rather
god-awful
shoot
state.
myself in the face and miss and live.
Yeah, and you know what?
And
The Cubs have been terrible lately, and
horribly
this is not a
maimed
good
for the
game
rest of
their
my
offense.
life.
But if you went into the game before the game and you said, "Hey, the Cubs starting pitcher is going to get hurt in the second inning," that's not the worst game in the world to lose. They've lost worse games. You can't. You lost your starting pitcher.
This Cubs team. This
tough to make that up.
Stop choking games late, man.
And Ian Happ needs to be traded. This guy needs to be traded.
I mean, here we go. You got Tucker, Suzuki. You got your big boys up to try and tie the game.
Time to put your big boy pants on, Cubs.
Here's all your fucking money right here. Oh no,
Yep.
Tucker made the last out. So Suzuki, PCA was already up. So you don't even have your big bats.
Oh, Sean.
Yeah, here's your best players.
Yeah, Sean, I think it's Suzuki, Bush, and Kelly.
These guys are all quality contracts.
I think it's
Listen,
Suzuki,
we hope
Bush,
the
and
Cubs
Kelly.
pull off the win. Let's get Sean off the air before they don't. And
The Cubs ain't winning this fucking
the
game.
results of
The
that.
Cubs are not winning this fucking game. The Cubs were fun for 4 months. Now that people put on their big boy pants, the Cubs have folded their
This is when you got to do it, man. When you play your best baseball in the second half of the season, you go on to do good things.
And I think the Bears are going to play their best football this season in the second half of the season. That's
2023 Lions. 2023 Lions. Or no, 2022 Lions. Sorry.
Let's see them start putting it together as the season goes on. Let's not have unrealistic expectations. This team is going to take some time to gel.
They're going 17-0, and they're winning this Super Bowl.
I mean, it's
17-0. I'm gonna get that tattoo right here, right across my.
Do you have any tattoos, Sean?
Nope. It'll be
your first one's gonna be a 17-0 on your chest.
Dustin, just so you know, and my wife, me and my wife are gonna be
do it on the neck.
21 years. Now,
under the eye.
I have no tattoos, but Jay Padoka, I think he has one or two, but I promised him many years ago my first tattoo would be a Bears Super Bowl championship tattoo. If this ever happens before I'm fucking dead.
Definitely can't break that promise.
Well, I'm gonna get it.
That's a blood bond.
What's up, B-Dog?
I have a design like already. I have it saved in a folder. Like
B-Dog jumping in late. All right. Well, I hope the Bears win a Super Bowl so that we can do that shit live on air. Like we can just record it while you get the tattoo.
Dude,
I'll get one with you.
I would totally do that. We would do a show at the tattoo parlor while I'm getting it done.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
2025. Sean, you get the ring tattooed. I'll get the actual trophy.
You guys are gonna get matching tattoos?
No.
On our heel.
I have a design picked out. I may have to redefine it because I picked it out like 17 years ago, but.
Why'd you have to redefine it? If you would have got it 17 years ago, it'd still be there.
I'd have them touch it up a little bit.
You're gonna want to update that.
Strikeout Suzuki. That's his new nickname, guys. Strikeout.
All right,
Suzuki.
3-2. 3-2. Let's see what he does.
Struck out.
See what he does. You know he's not going to get it.
You're behind.
Oh, hey guys, he struck him out.
All right.
Dobbsy wants to start a GoFundMe for it.
I gotta get out of here, guys.
All right, Dobbsy, we'll get back to you on that. Check in with us again on Wednesday.
No chance.
Wednesday, we got the Barely There podcast, 7 o'clock. Thursday, bare minimum, 11:30 at night. Me and Brandon bring the late night content. We have a lot of fun. Saturday, Sean and Kyle will be back for the Northside 9, and then we're back again on Monday. As long as we don't cancel the show. I mean, we have problems sometimes. We go back, we butt heads a little bit, but like we'll be back on Monday, I believe, for the Halas Hall Hangover.
I think Sean dropped a C word, so we might just be canceled.
Oh, we might just be canceled in general. Sean might have canceled us before we just implode.
Might be over.
Hold on 1 second. Let's get canceled some more.
Fuck Green Bay! 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 Yes, sir!
The dude who records that is so lame. Like he's not even. He's like fuck Green Bay. Fuck Green Bay.
He definitely
jumps in a really lame ass way,
sure.
and he's like, "Yes, sir." Get out of here.
I did make a little clip of Caleb walking away from the stadium. Go Bears! I have that. I forgot to load it up. So we'll get that. We'll get that coming in here. I clipped that out the other day.
Guys, it's been a lot of fun. This has been the Halas Hall.
What's up, Shorty?
We are 4-star Chicago Sports, and we love you very much. Thanks to everybody in the chat. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so.
Thank you, guys.
Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, we got a couple newbies in tonight. I hope y'all are subscribed. And
guys,
what's up?
September 1st, we're switching back to 6 o'clock, so we don't interfere with
I
people's.
think that's where Dustin was going. I think Dustin was going there.
There's 6.
Were you about to say that, Dustin?
I was gonna throw that. I was gonna throw that in there. It's okay though. I was on a roll, but like it's fine. This was my no hitter. You kind of jinxed it, but we're good.
Jinxed it. That shit's over.
I bunted in the 9th with 2 outs.
All good, guys. This is how we do it. We love you very much. Join Sean, Kyle, and Jason on Wednesday for the Barely There. And bear down. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
Bear down, everybody.
Bear down.